Hello, do you like New Japan Pro Wrestling? Are you a Shin Nihon freak? If so, check out the Super J-Cast with Joel and Damon on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
And even if you fucking hate New Japan Pro Wrestling, listen to the Super J-Cast anyway. Not just for our great show reviews, analysis, and pastrami sandwiches, but there's also usually some dick jokes somewhere in the obligatory opening 30 minutes of absolute nonsense we chat about every single week. That's the Super J-Cast for all the best talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, crisps, and pornography.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Kiss me like a love star. So I'm calling. Whoa, whoa, kimi ga kata omoi, namida no shitsure give me fire, give me that what I desire.
You're listening to the Emerald Flow Show on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 70 of the Emerald Flow Show. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. You can follow us on X at Emerald Flow Show. You can follow us, listen to us on all of your favorite podcast apps. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review, and you can donate to the show at voicesofwrestling.com/donate or on our Red Circle page. I'm Gerard here with Paul. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. The weather's really nice in Germany. It's getting really, really warm now in the late summer. And so we had like 30 degrees Celsius today, and it's going to like stay like that for the next couple of days too.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's been pretty hot here, almost 30 or above all summer.
I mean, I also heard that like humidity is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Because like humidity here is pretty fine, but I heard from like a friend that is in Ontario that like humidity is pretty bad, at least where he is.
Oh, absolutely. It is. It is. The humidity is awful around here, and like I haven't had the air conditioning stopped in, I don't know, like 2 months now, I think, at least.
Oh, that's not good. See, I just have like one of these like old European like apartments with just an incredibly high ceiling, and that's basically what is saving me right now. But I have a feeling that if it stays hot for the next couple of days, then the room is just going to fill up with hot air, and then it's going to take forever until it cools down. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, let me ask you this. How high off the ground are you?
I'm on the 4th floor.
And how many floors are in that building?
There's one more, so there's 5th floor, so there's one more floor, and then the ceiling part as well.
The thing is, though, in North America, like high rises are much more common than they are across Europe. So that's what you also run into, because I'm on like the 10th floor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hot, and it gets really hot. Where Europe doesn't have as many high rises residential. I don't
No, to be fair, a friend of mine actually lives on the 17th floor, and yeah, when I was over there a couple of weeks ago, that was pretty bad as well. She just had like all the windows open, like full on, just with fans running and everything to try and cool down.
Yes. Do you know what else is hot right now, Paul?
The NOAH injury list.
Yes. I was going to say pro wrestling Noah in general, because I think it's generated a lot of attention, good or bad, in the last week, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It has gotten a ton of attention. And like, I mean, I'm happy it gets attention for like the fact that they put out a good product, but then also it's like, yeah, everybody's injured or retiring or leaving the company like in the middle of the tournament.
So obviously the first thing we got to get to, Yoshinari Ogawa, after 39 years, is retiring.
That's so close to 40.
Due to a neck injury. And he doesn't want any ceremony, or he might not even be able to wrestle the final match, but he doesn't even want a ceremony either.
Nope. And he's already been moved to the alumni section on the NOAH website.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that yesterday. Yeah, which I thought was interesting, and that was fast. I
have a feeling though, this was all like this, like even if he hadn't gotten injured here, like when he was eventually planning to retire, this is how he would have done it, right? He would have just been like, by the way, I'm retiring, I'm out, I don't want like a match or anything, I'm just gone.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me, and that's probably how he would have done it. I mean, the way he went out though, in the middle of, you know what? I'm going to be admit something, Paul. I haven't been paying attention to the NOAH juniors during this N1 tournament at all.
I mean, there's a bunch of Mattel stuff going on. Amaxa's gonna Daga's gonna challenge Amaxa again. Yeah, Eita and Kondo versus Yohei and Hayata is happening as well, which I actually put a poll in the Voice of Wrestling Discord who's going to turn on who. I think Eita turning on Kondo won with 50% of the vote there.
Yeah, I mean, that would make the most sense sort of thing if they lose the titles type thing. But going back to Ogawa, I mean, what a career.
Yeah.
One of the most underrated wrestlers ever.
Absolutely. Like legitimately all time great. Like probably easy top 30 all time.
Sure. I think a style that really doesn't exist anymore so much.
No.
Because
you see some elements in Zack, right?
Well, yes, but Zack is smoother.
Yeah.
And less. I mean, Zack can be a trickster, but I mean, Ogawa's a real trickster.
No, yeah, he's the best at that, yeah.
But the problem is more subsequent people like Ogawa have ejected the subtlety for the WWE style subtlety hammer when it comes to their cheating and stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's like, oh, look at me cheating, basically. Look at this like bad thing I did where Ogawa just did it, won the match, like didn't give a single reaction and just rolled out of the ring.
Yeah. I'm going to be a bit of a contrarian a bit because I've heard and seen a lot of people's or read a lot of people's Ogawa reflections. And I'm just going to come out and say it. To this day, I still don't think he should have won that GHC heavyweight title back in 2002. I
agree.
By that.
I do agree with that as well, especially because like I don't know, because I do think it kind of hurt Akiyama. I think that's the main one there.
It absolutely hurt Akiyama.
Yeah.
And it
didn't help Ogawa.
It didn't help Takayama either, because Takayama beat him and held the title for 3 weeks and dropped it right to Misawa.
Yeah.
Whereas that whole reign probably should have just been Takayama's.
Yeah, you should have, like, because he could have still done the thing where like Akiyama loses in 4 minutes, right? Because like him losing to Takayama in 4 minutes, it's like I don't think that hurts Akiyama in the same way it hurt losing to Ogawa in that fashion. And you can just put like Takayama over as just an absolute monster.
Well, I mean, Takayama was one of the hottest wrestlers in Japan at that time too.
Yeah. So no, I fully agree. I know that's a bit controversial, but I agree that was not. That was probably the biggest misstep of Ogawa's career.
Yeah, because he sort of got shuffled off and never appeared in the heavyweight singles scene again, really.
Yeah,
His
that's
team
the other
with
thing.
Ogawa, right? He didn't get a singles run until like years later.
Yep.
Again, and he was in tag teams until then. But I mean, I guess technically part of some legendary tag teams also. I mean,
that's the other thing, right? That's actually what I wanted to touch on is like like a team that I never really see people talk about in terms of like all-time tag teams is the Misawa Ogawa tag team.
yeah.
Right? Like I feel like that's actually something now that Ogawa's retired, somebody should like actually dig really into their run. Like and all of because like if you just look at like the individual, there's so many great matches in there and like such a long period of time as well.
Yes.
Where like I feel like what hurts them might be that like it gets interrupted pretty frequently, but if you actually add all of it together, it is like one of the longest like runs as a team really that we've had.
Yeah, from about what 99 to like 05 maybe.
I mean, you have to remember, like most tag teams don't stay. Like we get kind of like a little bit led astray by like some teams that stay together forever, but like most tag teams don't actually have that long of a sustained run. Like it's actually among the longer runs, really.
Absolutely. Because then eventually Misawa started teaming with Go. I want to say 05, 06, or maybe a little later than that.
Well, I mean, literally right onto his death, really.
Yes, yeah. And then, I mean, obviously, like Ogawa, a huge influence on Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell from what I've see some people say, like Zack probably pushed to send Oiwa to Ogawa and NOAH.
Ooh, interesting.
And that Zack and Ogawa were very close friends, obviously, in that
yes,
right?
That's another tag team that I think is warrants some investigation as well.
Absolutely. Now, Ogawa's legacy as a trainer, is it his fault about the sheer number of graduates from that NOAH dojo in the last 10 years? Or
I mean, maybe. I mean, the other thing I will say, though, that like the people that he has put out are like really, really fucking good.
This more recent crop has been excellent. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because like, I mean, we're talking about like a lot of like Zack having a lot of Ogawa in him. But Kaito, whenever he actually goes like really in depth on his like mat work, actually has a lot of Ogawa in him as well.
Yes, watch those Ogawa versus Kiyomiya matches. They are incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's like really like those are really underrated. I know it's hard to go back to like pandemic era wrestling and like a bunch of them happened in front of like literally no crowd.
One of them was no crowd. Another one was a clap crowd.
Yeah, but like these are they're some of the best matches that happened during the entire pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Just yeah, I mean he was yeah, I mean that's the other thing, right? Like because if he had retired when the NOAH split happened, like he was already 15 years into his career. Like he probably still would be like extremely highly regarded as a wrestler. And then he tacked 20 years on top of that of being one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
Absolutely.
And also, literally since the beginning of his career, a grumpy veteran. Because they put him into Surudagon like a couple of years into his career. And he's basically just been a grumpy veteran since then, since he was a young boy, essentially.
Well, people also forget, before he formed his team with Misawa, he was actually technically a member of the Holy Demon Army.
Yep. That's also a bit forgotten as well, yeah. Although he didn't do a whole lot in there. That's probably why they like split him off and put him with Misawa.
Yeah. Also, one thing that I do not see people talking about is his run as junior champion in All Japan. He's a two-time PWF world, or three-time, junior champion. And first of all, if you've never seen it, his match from January 15th, 1999 against Masahiko Kakihara is awesome.
Mhm.
It might be one of the best All Japan junior match. I know that's not a long list. But one of the best
Yeah,
All
not in
Japan
that era.
junior matches of the 90s, absolutely. And then there's just like other stuff like matches against Scorpio and Daisuke Ikeda, and obviously matches against like Kikuchi and Fuji too.
Mhm. No,
so
just
you can
an
go-
insane list. That's what I mean, right? Like if he just never goes to Noah and just, well, basically the split happens and he's just like, fuck both of you, I'm retiring. Like there would be just an insanely long list of matches to go back to and watch from him.
Here we go. October 7th, 1995, PWF World Junior Heavyweight Title. Yoshinari Ogawa defeats Rob Van Dam.
Oh God. Okay, I actually didn't know about that one. I actually need to go watch that.
Yes.
That's
I
nuts.
don't think I've ever seen that.
Also, literal, like if you want to know how much of a miracle worker Ogawa was, you don't even need to go back that far. You only need to go back 4.5 years to like early 2020 when he had literally like Hayata's best singles match by like a country mile.
Yeah. Oh yes, that match. People were talking about that too. They're like, Ogawa the miracle worker.
I mean, literally, yeah. It's Hayata. And it's like, because they tried to like recapture that spirit later and it didn't really work that time, but like it definitely worked like in 2020 when it did it.
Well, it's funny because that was Ogawa's only junior title run in Noah.
Yeah. Which is weird to think about, that it literally took like almost 20 years for him to win that belt.
Yeah. And then everything fell apart. It was
Yeah.
putting it on Ogawa. I mean, he also had that brief run with tags. He had a couple of other brief tag team runs with like Kotaro Suzuki. I want to say in like 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The original Stinger.
yeah. So
It's like Stinger, now a one-person faction. Daga's the only one left.
right. I'm just trying to think of any other Ogawa notes or anything like that.
Wait, there was something I wanted to talk about with Ogawa. Can't think of it right now. Maybe I'll remember it later.
Yeah, I mean, it came as a shock, and I mean, look, you're 58 years old and you get a neck injury. I get it.
Yeah.
It's probably
No,
a
I
lot.
get it as well.
And
It's
given
like, yeah,
Takayama and Misawa and all of them, right?
exactly. I mean, like, not even just that, but like literally like the last couple of weeks,
Yep.
Like that already probably is like another thing for him. Right? It's like, you know what, time to call it a day. Oh, actually, now I remember what I want to talk about. It's like also like how loyal he was, like, right, aside from like the whole, like I'm gonna give him a pass for like the whole like Noah split and all of that.
Yeah.
But then otherwise, like if you actually look at it, he basically just like 99% of his matches are either in All Japan or Noah. Like he did very, very little work outside of those two promotions.
Yes, he did. Very little work.
Yeah.
See, he did like Cyber Fight Fest and the Wrestle Kingdom
Which that's a
Japan
Noah show. Yeah.
He did a Kaintai Dojo in 2016.
Yeah, he also had a
Yoshinari
match
Ogawa-
in 10 in tradition.
Yoshinari Ogawa defeats Taka Michinoku in 1335. That could be good, actually.
That actually should be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Also
he-
never really won an excursion either.
No, he did not.
He worked the original Wrestle one.
What was that, man? Mitsuharu Misawa, Yoshinari Ogawa defeat Akibono and Scorpio. That's very, yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure that WXW match is like a NOAH cross thing because it says navigation to a new level. But it's also weird that he literally only worked that one match. Because there's like a bunch of other NOAH people on there, and I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if that one made tape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever watched that one.
I got a game for us, Paul.
Okay.
Who's still left from the very first NOAH show?
Ooh, Marufuji. Like still wrestling or still in NOAH?
Still wrestling. So let's go through the card real
Marufuji.
quick. Yeah, well, I was going to say, let's go through the card real quick. Opening match, Takeshi Morishima defeats Makoto Hashi. They're both retired.
Yep.
This match is who's still alive. Haruka
no.
Jun Izumida and Tsuyoshi Kikuchi defeat Mitsuo Momoto, Rusher Kimura, and Takeshi Rikyo.
Oh, that's not a lot of people that are still alive from there.
Half that match is dead.
Yeah.
Kentaro Shiga and Naomichi Marufuji defeat Masao Inoue and Yoshinori Kanemaru. This might actually be the match with the most.
Yeah, I mean, Inoue is technically still wrestling, right?
Well, barely. He shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be, but he is. He's booked. Counts.
And then in the semi-main event, we got Daisuke Ikeda, Masahito Kakihara, and Yoshinari Ogawa. It's only one of those guys still left active versus No Fear, Satoru Asako, Takawa Mori, and Yoshihiro Takayama. So one guy active on each team.
Oh, jeez.
And then the main event, the best 2 out of 3 falls match, Jun Akiyama and Kenta Kobashi versus Akira Taue and Mitsuharu Misawa.
So one of those is still active?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a lot of people. I thought Kenta was on the first show. But I guess I remember that wrong then.
Well, was he on the, departure? Because he debuted in May 2000. So he had, he's on the
He had a couple All Japan matches. So that's,
first match on the day 2 at Differ was versus Kenta Kobayashi.
Okay, fair enough.
This first NOAH show, it rivals an early 90s WWF show in terms of how many people are still alive.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of different circumstances though, because that's like, it's not people like overdosing.
No, it's people dying of old age.
Yeah. Or under very unfortunate circumstances. I actually, another thing, it's something Mike Spears brought up, is like, because Ogawa was like one of the last guys that still wrestled like a full-time schedule.
Yep.
That basically debuted before he was born. Which I think I actually would have to look into how many people that still is for me. I think it's still a few more people. Because at least I have like 2 years on Mike there. So I should have a few more people there. But yeah, that number is getting smaller and smaller every year. It's weird.
Well, I was born in 1985. And I was born in January 85. So I was born like 8 months before Ogawa debuted. But I'm not sure how many full-timers are left that are...
I don't know if there's anyone. I mean, it depends how you classify a full-timer, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's...
But, yeah.
That's, the thing. So, yeah.
I mean, you still have wrestlers that are active from before you were born. But, yeah, I don't think any of them wrestle like a full-time schedule anymore.
Yeah, someone said Ricky Morton has 17 matches this year. Would you consider that?
Yeah, that was me. So.
Oh, okay.
No, I agree though that I wouldn't say that's a full-time schedule. Like I think Morton a few years ago was still doing like a full-time schedule.
He debuted
but now,
in 1977.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's see. Does it say how many matches he has?
He had 40 matches in 2022. That's more like a full-timer.
Oh, 40 in 2020. Oh, but he was like, okay, but in 2021 he had 18. Okay, pandemic. But in 2019 he had 28. In 20,
yeah,
right. There was a big drop off because it's like after 1998 he had 56. In 1998 he had 56, and then 7, 8, 13, 11, 12, 20. Yeah. And then the last time he wrestled over 100 matches was in 1995.
Would you have like a Joshi maybe that would fit into that?
When did Mayumi Ozaki debut?
Ozaki is later. Ozaki, I think, was she 85 actually? Let me check.
86.
Ozaki
86.
was August 86.
Jaguar Yokota was retired for a number of years.
Yeah. Aja Kong is also 86. Like those all still count for me at least.
Sure. Well, wait. How long was Jaguar Yokota retired for? Because she's still wrestling, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, she was retired from 86 to 94, and then didn't wrestle from 99 to 2003. So.
Damn it. Billy Gunn actually doesn't count for me. I'm off by a year.
Oh, when did Billy Gunn debut?
89.
Oh, wow. Okay. Damn.
So yeah, no, but I will say, like, if we find anyone, it probably will have to be a Joshi or a Mexican wrestler, simply because they just started so much earlier.
Well, when did Blue Panther debut? And is Negro Casas still considered?
Negro Casas was, I think, one of the one that Mike counted. Yeah, so he would count for you as well.
Blue Panther debut in 78. He had 47 matches this year.
Yeah.
That's close to full time, if you ask me.
Virus is 86, and he also had like 40 something matches. Those guys definitely count. I think, when was Atlantis?
Negro Casas has only had 20 matches this year.
Atlantis is 83. And he has had 66 matches this year. He absolutely counts.
Yeah.
Like, he's on pace for like 100 matches this year, which is insane at 61. I know a lot of those are like trios matches, but still.
Of course. Yeah, it's all the Lucha guys that are left. Japan and US, not so much.
No, because Japan, like, it's just too physically demanding, whereas can probably do like a 6-man tag where like all the other guys do something.
There's also the Lucha Brawl too.
Oh yeah. That keeps you alive because you basically don't bump.
Yeah.
Wait, when is what's his face? LA Park. LA Park is 82.
Oh wow.
And he's only 58. He made his debut in 1982. And he has 35 matches this year. So
he does, eh?
Yeah, that Lucha Brawl is really a great way to like stick around forever. Like, that also tells you, like, some of these guys are literally not gonna go away until they die.
I'm looking at LA Park's cage match for this year, and he's politicked himself to the Mexican Indies, it looks like.
Oh my god, they did another LA Park Rouge no contest this year.
Where?
In April in Elite. I didn't know Elite was back. What the fuck?
That's funny. Oh, it went 26 minutes too. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, LA Park, given his rep, seems to be all in just Mexican Indies.
Yeah. I mean, probably what's gonna happen eventually. Like, eventually you just burn all of the bridges.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny that he won't take the loss in a mask match, given the fact that he already lost a mask match at the beginning of the career, which is the only reason why we exactly know how old he is. We know his shoot name because he actually got unmasked, which he just uses on Twitter, so everybody knows what his shoot name is, and yet he still refuses to take the mask loss for the LA Park match. He would be able, like, he literally could retire with that payoff at this point.
I bet. Now, probably one of the biggest mass payoffs ever.
Yeah,
Surely, right?
would have to be. It could probably, like, if he was willing to do it, like both AAA or CMLL would be more than happy to put that on, like, as a main event on a Triple Mania or a anniversary show. If you let Atlantis Jr. take that mask, like, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, anyway, back to Ogawa. I don't think there's going to be anyone like him ever again. No one is going to
No.
wrestle in that style with that sort of like skill and subtlety.
No one's going to be able to match that attitude either.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like even when he was younger, he looked older than he was.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's what I mean, right? They put him they put him with the grumpy veterans 5 years into his career.
If you watch like early Ogawa, he looks way younger, like because he debuted when he was like 19, and he looks like a kid. But then all of a sudden, when he gets to like 30 years old, then he like ages rapidly.
Yeah. He had to have spent a lot of time in the sun because his skin just like, I mean, it literally like, I mean, his jacket was just very appropriate because he just like looked like it's an extension of his body. But he also like looked like that by like what, 2000?
Oh yeah,
like almost like the way he does now. Like he barely, like in the last 20 years, he aged like 5 years essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was looking old by like the early 2000s in his like mid to early 30s. Early to mid 30s. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, crazy aging is very common in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So than it was, obviously, because, you know, I mean, I'm sure Ogawa was from that very drink and smoke heavy generation too.
Yes. Although I don't know if he was actually drinking. Like he was definitely smoking.
He was
because I don't know. But do you think you can keep that kind of like rail thin body if you're drinking though? Into that age?
Know. I just know that Misawa was a big drinker, so I figured.
Oh yes. But he also looked like someone that was drinking. You know, that kind of like more rotund, barrel-chested look.
Yes, he looked like a 45-year-old man that drank a lot by the end.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Ogawa was always kept. He got skinnier as he. I mean, some people get like old and like skinny out, right? My dad sort of. I feel like he's skinnier now in his late 70s than he was when I was younger.
Actually, my dad's kind of like that too. He's like 60 now, and he's just skin and bones basically.
But he was always very skinny. Always.
Yeah.
So, I mean, end of an era, end of a style. It would be nice if someone would try to copy him more. But I don't know. I just feel like.
I mean, it's quite literally a case of they don't make him like that anymore, you know?
Yeah, they don't. The incentives in the business have changed, right? It doesn't pay to be subtle like that. I might talk about something about that later. And there's just obviously style evolutions and everything like that. But I mean, but think about, but Ogawa still stood out, even though like he came of age when those guys were dropping each other on their head and doing like crazy moves too, though.
Yeah. And he very much was like, okay, let me do like basically the polar opposite of it.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe, I don't know if that was a conscious decision or not by him to kind of, you know, stand out as something different as well.
It might have been. He's like, I'm smaller than all of these other guys.
Yeah, so I have to do something different. I can't just like, just do like some like crazy thing where I like just drop someone on his neck 5 times.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So
he's also probably not strong enough to do that to like a Kawada or like an Akira Taue. So probably like even just from that, he probably had to like find some different way. And I mean, All Japan Juniors have always been larger, so that might be another thing where he literally was like, okay, I can't wrestle like these guys because I'm literally not going to be able to get these guys up, so I have to do something different.
Yeah. Exactly. So. Sounds like he'll be remaining in the dojo though, because they said something like the injury will not affect his ability to do day-to-day work.
Yeah, and I mean they put him in the alumni section, so on the website, which I don't know if it is, but it always feels like if I just look at the guys, those are like guys that also kind of like stuck around to some degree with Noah and some other function. Like, right? I think Daisuke Harada works in like the office, and like Nosawa's the booker, and Muto obviously has like his like ambassador role. I don't know what the great Muta is doing, but then otherwise, like all of the other ones are still involved.
I have a feeling he's still going to stay at the dojo. I mean, I'm not sure. Is there anyone else that could really run that dojo other than Kiyomiya? Maybe.
Yeah, Kaito, but Kaito has to like. I don't know how easy it is to be like the ace of the promotion and also run the dojo. That seems like a lot of work for him. Whereas Ogawa can now just fully devote time to that. Like, I don't know like who else he would put in there. I don't know, like a Taniguchi maybe. But was like looking over the roster, who else I would put there? But like, I don't know. I think leaving Ogawa in the dojo, I think is a good decision.
Oh, absolutely. He has got a proven track record, and they need to turn out more people from their dojo.
Yeah, definitely. Which they just debuted someone as well.
Yeah, or did they debut, or are they?
He had. Oh yeah, that was actually.
They announced someone.
Oh no, it is, yes. So he's already on the website, and he will make his debut next month, actually.
Okay, that's good. So.
Daiki Odashima.
He's a smaller guy, though, isn't he? Or
yeah, he's 165, 75 kilos.
Ooh.
Like that's not very. Yeah, but he was the guy that did like the audition on Keno's YouTube channel. And hey, they need juniors as well. Like that junior division is very shallow now.
Well, yes, that's true. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, any bodies at all, are good for Noah. And so, I mean, that is Yoshinari Ogawa, and we'll definitely not forget him.
No, absolutely not. Probably gonna like rewatch. Once things kind of calm down, I'm probably just gonna watch a bunch of Ogawa matches as well.
And speaking of Noah injuries,
this section will go very long. We'll be here for a while.
Okay, so we have obviously Go couldn't even make it to the N1, and possibly they had to like tie him to a chair to stop him from wrestling. I don't know.
Yes, they literally told him though. He was like, "No, I really need to," and then Noah literally had to like tell him immediately, "No, you can't stop it."
We got Ahio to Dr. Wagner Jr. From a I took it from a senton in that match. Right?
Yeah. I think
he landed
really weirdly, and he made weird noises afterwards as well.
Yeah. And then we got Atsushi Katoge. Assuming is that spot where, okay, I'm just going to talk about this now. That spot, I don't think Briggs was especially reckless or anything in that spot. I think it was just an awkward landing. What do you think?
I don't know. He just kind of tossed them pretty willy-nilly. I don't think he really did a lot of work to protect them there.
Okay.
I don't think he intentionally injured him, but I also don't think he really gave a shit what happened to him.
So yeah, I mean, so you have one man out in each block.
God
knows what kind of rebooking. Although Katoge was obviously.
I mean, yeah, Kotoge probably you need to like adjust some points because he's probably gonna get like a win if anything. But yeah, Wagner is bad.
Yeah, Wagner was probably. I mean, Wagner could have been a finalist. Wagner could have been at least alive into the final night.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, to me, it's very obvious that Kano lost to Heights because of the injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that would have happened otherwise. Like, that was a very clear, like, we need to, like, readjust the way we, like, get to, like, the final results that we want. And so we're going to have Keno lose here.
Yeah, I would expect that it's also possible that we're going to see some more draws or double countouts or something.
Yeah. The math is going to be kind of fucked for now.
I don't think you can rule that out. But before we get to the other matches... also, note Ninja Mac is gone from NOAH. He made it sound like he may come back one day. What do you make of this, Paul?
Such a weird one, right? Because he comes in, they just immediately fall in love with him and sign him to a contract after one match, and then don't do anything with him for like 2 years. Like, they just kind of like they gave him that accidental title reign where Hayata got injured, but it was very clearly that was not the plan. And they immediately take the title off of him the moment Hayata is back. And then he kind of did nothing at all. Like, he had that like weird, like hardcore title reign on Wrestle Magic, but I mean, it's like questionable how canon that even is, right? Yeah. To like the wider NOAH canon, like it always feels like this whole thing is like happening in its own little world. And then otherwise, he just was a body on the roster, really.
Yeah, they bungled him, if you ask me.
Yeah,
he had that bizarre reign with Dante Leon and everything like that. He was always over. He made a good impression in New Japan. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's jumping. If you had to ask me, I think he might be like, why am I flying to Japan for this?
Yeah, to like work like undercard matches, like literally like openers, and not ever do anything. I get him from there where it might be like frustrated as well.
I don't know, and I know people have asked around and have not heard anything. So I don't know. Maybe got out. Maybe he's gonna pop up. Maybe he's going to be like, they're gonna suit him up and make him like Hologram's arch enemy in AEW or something. I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but he's also 34, right? Like he's older than you think he is.
I know. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to WWE.
No. I mean, the weirdest thing still is that they never put like the junior tag titles on him. That's the one that like not even like putting the singles title on him, but that he never really got like a serious run in the tag division when I think he would have been perfect for that.
Yeah, it's just they, for whatever reason, they decided to subordinate all this to Hayata, and because Hayata ate up a lot of time, and Daga ate up a lot of time.
I mean, but they gave like a serious reign to Dante Leon.
Yeah.
That's the part I don't get at all. It's like, why that guy over like why didn't that go to Ninja Mac? Like, you can leave everything as it is, just do that reign with Ninja Mac instead. And I would probably think a lot differently about this run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So now I don't think this is necessarily, I think they probably would have kept him, but this is, well, as we've been talking about, the transitional period for NOAH foreigners.
Yeah.
Right?
We're going to see some new ones coming in.
I don't know. I think we might just be Titus and Jack Morris plus whoever rotates in from WWE. I mean, and the Golpadores.
Oh, yeah.
Because you think Wagner's gone next year, right?
I do think Wagner. I mean, it also depends like how bad his injury is.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, if there is a chance, I do think he's getting signed by someone, like whether that be AEW or WWE. But I do think, like, I mean, look at him. That man is just built to be on like American national TV.
Well, let me ask you this, Paul, because I was thinking about this. Let's go Bedores. If the Lucha Brothers leave AEW, although I see there seems to be, who knows that that's happening, or some, they're now denying things. Who knows what that means? It could just be, don't want the press on them now. But could they be, we have Pentagon Jr. and Ray Fenix at home?
I mean, they could be.
They come cheaper and they can fly. I mean, they are great. Like that's a little mocking. I don't think they're either of them as great as Phoenix, but they're both still really damn good.
I mean, I think it highly depends how much they've actually matured.
I feel like they have it because no one's now giving them these opportunities.
Yes, exactly. It's just, if you probably ask certain wrestlers, they're probably gonna tell you don't hire these guys based off of past experiences. But yeah, I would maybe kick the tires at it and see how they react to, like, if I give them like an offer. But I think they're also young enough where you can probably still hold off for like 2 more years and then maybe sign them as like much bigger stars.
I think it's safe to say, though, if they do stay in NOAH, they will get pushed.
Oh, yeah. I think them moving up to heavyweight.
I think I could see them beating Marufuji and Sugiura for those heavyweight tag titles.
Yeah, because they're very clearly in like a holding pattern on that one at the moment.
Yeah.
And if you want to do a big splash and everything, it's really establish them as heavyweights. Like, that hurts the junior division even more, but I do think they're going to do great as heavyweights as well.
Yeah, for sure. Especially Alpha Wolf.
Oh, yeah, because he's the bigger of the two.
Yeah, and he can do more. I think he does better mat work than his brother and everything like that.
Yeah. I would say Dragon Bane is the better flyer, but
yes.
Yeah, everything else, Dragon Bane, everything else, Alpha Wolf
is a little more
better, yeah.
So let's get into that. So the first night of the N1 at Yokohama Budokan in front of 949 fans.
Yeah.
Although Joe Lanza pointed out that they're running the same schedule as last year and they're actually up.
I mean, they are, but it's still not great to like stay below like 1,000, especially in that building.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
And with New Japan like casually breaking the attendance record in the same building like a couple of days later.
Yep.
And also, like, the other thing as well, it's not just like in that build. Like, the other problem I have as well is that, like, if you put that many people in that building, the atmosphere is dog shit. That's the problem here.
Well, look, I guess you could say Noah's up, but I guess you could also say that growth isn't that big either.
No.
It's not the greatest year-to-year growth, which still is like, is this Kaito's fault? Well,
I mean, the other thing,
fault,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Kaito has
what would be interesting to look at is, like, how much is the growth relative to the average growth in Japanese wrestling industry, right? Because I think a lot of promotions have seen a little bit of growth recently.
Yep.
So is it just they're getting like pulled up by the rising tide, or is it actually like them growing a little, like small but still growing like organically?
Well, I would say these numbers year over year look more like they're getting pulled up by a rising tide than they're growth. To be honest with you, if the business is better and everything like that. But we'll see by the end of the tour, but it's something to keep your eyes open on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off with, just speaking of the devil, Alpha Wolf defeating Wagner Jr. in 14-14 with that crucifix. I thought this was a really strong opener, and like I was talking about, I think this like one of the examples of why I think Wolf is a more well-rounded wrestler than Bane and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a big statement too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this was definitely right there to be like, okay, this guy's a heavyweight now. Need to take him seriously. Just beat a former champion. And also they told these guys to just, okay, you guys, you do the opener of the entire show, of the entire tournament. Just go out there and just go nuts, basically.
Yeah. And then next up, Dragon Bane defeated Atsushi Katoge in 11:44 with the reverse Franken center. Well, this was a good start to these guys' tournament, but it wouldn't keep up for poor Katoge. But
No.
it was like a junior match too.
Yeah, I mean, I really loved this one, and after this one, I was like, oh man, I'm really looking forward to all of the stuff that Kotoge is going to do in the tournament. And yeah, it was one more match after this. So,
Paul, I'm going to say something now.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but this N1 has a higher floor than the G1.
oh, for sure, yeah. Because like, who's like the worst worker in the tournament? It's like Josh Briggs.
Yeah. Or Tavion Heights, if you want to get technical, I think you could argue.
Mm.
Oh, well, we might differ.
Oh yeah, we will.
So we got next up Titus Alexander versus Tavion Heights in Tavion Heights in 9:21 with the Big Ugly. Okay, this wasn't pretty, and there was some miscommunications here, but this was like to me the sort of absolute low of the tournament. Whereas both of these guys would improve later. I have to say.
Yeah. No, I will agree on that. Like, I think,
And this is
like,
state
Titus
title
is
for
good.
Heights.
Yes, because he would be much better, like literally every other match.
Yeah,
And Titus is good, but he's also still very young. Like, he can't carry a guy that, is kind of dealing with some issues, like dealing with like completely unfamiliar surroundings and all of that. And he's not the guy that can kind of like bring things back on track.
Titus tried to carry him.
Yeah, but he's not there yet. He needs a couple of more years of experience. Like, if this is Titus Alexander, like 5 years down the line, he absolutely would have been able to like carry Tavion to like a good match here.
Yeah, for sure.
But this was like not good.
It might be the worst match of the tournament.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it will stay as that unless there's like some really big stinker that I don't even know who would be doing that. And yeah, this was just so unfocused and just kind of there, really.
Yeah. Next up, Josh Briggs defeated Rei Ogawa in 9:27 with the lariat. Paul, we might differ here, but I think Josh Briggs is a perfectly good pro wrestler, especially for someone of his size.
I don't know. Like, the other, like, my thing as well is like, yes, he is very large. He's like by far the largest guy in the entire tournament. But then his offense just looks so weak. Like, you're that tall and you've been wrestling for that long, and presumably like what the style in Japan is. And like that lariat he hit on Oiwa for the finish was just blah. It was just weak, really. Like, he's just, I don't know. With Heights, I'm like, there's like a lot more entertaining stuff in here, whereas with George Briggs, it's like, yeah, he's better than like a
He's certainly better than I was led to be believed.
No, but he's better than like what's his face? He's better than like Saxon Huxley. I'll give you that.
Yes, yeah, he absolutely is. I think
he is definitely like better than a Saxon Huxley, but it's also like not by a lot,
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll. I guess I will probably still disagree, but I mean, I just think that Briggs is perfectly serviceable for what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if you're the only like big, I don't know, like, because for me it's like, because we're obviously going to touch later on like the Saito versus on the Triple Crown match, basically, right?
Okay,
and like that to me is how you work like a big man, and Briggs is like Briggs is basically what the Saitos were a couple of years ago.
Oh, you think so? I think it's
yeah.
But we'll see as we go on. We'll see where Briggs is by the end of this.
In jail,
Next up,
hopefully.
we had. Next, we'll have Shuhei Taniguchi, Hajime Ohara, Juta Miyawaki, Kai Fujimura. They defeated Naomichi Marufuji, Takashi Sugera, and Ninja Mac. And this is only noteworthy because Taniguchi's a tiny special on Marufuji to get the win, which set up
Celebrated like he won the JHC title.
Yeah. And then back to the N1, Uka Sasaki defeated Yoshiki Inamura in 11:35 via referee stop with a super hold. First of all, can we talk about, is that new theme music for Sasaki?
Yeah, I think so.
It rules.
Yes, it's so good. It really enhances his aura.
Oh, and Sasaki is, he is like really improved already in this tournament, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Still got a little of the greenness. He's got to ditch that stunner. Like,
Yeah.
not the diamond cutter, but the stunner. It just looks out of place and goofy for him.
Especially since he's like gone and a lot more heavy on like mat stuff now in submission wrestling.
But he is really getting into it now, I think. And I think Inamura was a good opponent because, you know, Inamura was doing, Inamura could go on the mat as well, could throw him around. This is definitely, I would even say, one of the better Sasaki matches in his entire career, which isn't a lot, but still. So I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I mean, we have to remember that this guy has been wrestling for like 8 months now.
Yeah.
You know, so like we have to make some allowance for that. And I think for that, he's come a long way. Like he has improved rapidly. And like, I think we like, even within this tournament, I think he's improving. So yeah, but it's very funny. It's very funny though that Yoshiki Inamura vows to like go unbeaten the entire N1 and then immediately loses his first match by referee stoppage.
Well, he'll make up for it, but yeah, not
he will make up for it, but it's still funny that like he like is like, yeah, I won't lose, and then gets like choked unconscious immediately.
Yeah. N1, Masa Kitamiya defeated Jack Morrison 15:52 with a diving senton. Look, I thought this match was going real good, and then Jack got knocked loopy, and there was some awkwardness, and then Kitamiya just ended this with a senton. So you can't really rate it, but I thought it was good until it fell apart.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that was like the first like injury scare of the tournament. But watch like now, like Morris be like the only guy standing by the end.
Oh, I think Morris could be a finalist, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like I said, he might be winning just by like being the only one not injured at the end of the tournament. That might be how we have to decide this tournament.
And they brought in a stretcher for him, but he left under his own power.
Yeah.
Although it's like also scary that he just like wrestled a couple days later.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe like I will hope that they gave him like the proper test and everything was fine.
I mean, Japanese companies have like anything resembling an American concussion, and people got on AEW for lack of concussion protocols a couple years ago, but I don't even think there's anything in Japan about this at all.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, in the US, right, it came in through like American football. And I don't think baseball has a concussion problem. So I would guess maybe it's not as present in like Japanese consciousness, really.
Right. Because they're not playing. Well, I mean, there's a lot of martial arts, but yeah, baseball's the big thing, and football or soccer/football.
I mean, there's some concerns there because of headers, but yeah,
right.
It's still not super. It's not like it is in the US, yeah.
And then there was a junior 8-man featuring Yoshinari Ogawa that I did not watch.
Well, that's his last match. Yes, you probably should.
Oh, I guess I should watch that. Yeah, I did not watch it. Did you?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it was perfectly fine. I didn't even really notice anything wrong with Ogawa, to be honest. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
But it is random. It's one of those where it's like, oh yeah, that's his last match. It's like fucking Macho Man Randy Savage's last ever match being like a random 6-man in TNA.
I mean, Super Crazy was in it. That's like your trivia question.
Yeah, who was in Yoshinari? Name 2 people in Yoshinari Ogawa's last match. And it's
Daga and Super Crazy.
Daga and Super Crazy.
So then we go on to Keno defeated Manabu Soya in 1919 with the PFS. This is when we really got into kicked it up another gear. I thought that this was not their New Year's match.
Mm-hmm.
This was a pretty darn good semi-main event. This could have easily been the main event too. It was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it took a while to get going, but then once it got going, like the second half of the match was pretty great, and I mean these two are great, and the new and improved Manabu Soya is still a sight to behold, and I'm kind of swinging around that I think he might be winning this whole thing.
Oh, me too. Paul, my final is Soya versus Morris. Because I think
I could see that happen.
I think there's enough who could win this. Like there's
same though. I could see them go with Soya and Oiwa as well.
Yeah. I think look, if I'm Noah, I run this Oiwa versus Kiyomiya rivalry all the way to January 1st because
that's fun. Okay.
Who else is there, Paul? Who else do you have for January 1st? Unless you're going to bring back AJ Styles or bring in Cody or you know what I mean? Nakamura. So that's why I think January 1st is Oiwa versus Kiyomiya plus Marufuji versus some WWE guy.
I forgot who said it in the Discord, so sorry for not giving a proper credit. But someone brought up that like actually Oiwa versus Kaito could be on the Definity show because it's in Nagoya and Oiwa is from Aichi province.
Oh, okay. Is that at Aichi Prefectorial Gym?
No, it's at Dolphins Arena.
Oh.
So you need to sell some tickets for that, yeah.
That's Saito's retirement, right?
That's Saito's retirement, yeah.
Huh. That's very possible too. I don't know. I was just thinking long term. Paul, who could Kaito face on January 1st?
Keno.
He could.
But... might as well run that back. It's not going to be Jake because apparently he's just gone now.
Yeah, I think he might be gone. Yeah, he's now challenging for the tag titles with Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, he just is in a regular tag team now and it's just integrated into other storylines in New Japan. I think,
Okay, let's have a quick Jake aside. Jake improved his tournament by the end. Okay.
Yes.
And now I see there's are we being too hard on Jake? No, I do not think Jake is a horrible professional wrestler. I do not think Jake is embarrassing to the business, is business exposing. Jake is not botching spots like Sabu.
Yeah.
With 1/10 of the charm. But Jake is getting these opportunities. Jake is portrayed as a main eventer. Jake is not good enough in the role that, well, maybe New Japan is sort of
Yeah, if they're putting him in a tag team, like the New Japan heavyweight, like that's the perfect thing for him, right? Because he hasn't even done that much tag team work since him and Kento broke up.
But the fact of the matter is, Jake could not be a definitive great main eventer in All Japan.
No.
Or no.
Or Noah. He definitely can't be in New Japan, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that with him.
He is a mid-carder in the Bullet Club with Gabe Kidd, who could be a main eventer one day.
Yes. I mean, that's absolutely what you do. You keep those two together as a tag team. Maybe give him a run with the titles. Then you have him split up. Then Jake puts over Gabe, and then Gabe goes to the main event.
Yeah, that is what Jake can be in New Japan. But I'm not sure you could make him much bigger.
No, and I mean that's also like because I mean it's what I said when he left All Japan, right? Like what his trajectory in Noah would have been.
He got lucky.
It's the same trajectory, but his long-term trajectory, right? He got lucky that they needed like a patsy to like blame all of the bad attendances on post Muto, which is still what I think happened.
Absolutely.
And then his long-term trajectory is the same as it was in All Japan. It's the same trajectory he's on in New Japan now, which is an upper mid-carder that is like the gatekeeper, like the guy you beat to get like the title match, essentially. That's Jake Lee. Like, he's probably going to make like a New Japan Cup final. He's not going to win, but he's going to make a final. I would put good money on him making a New Japan Cup final within the next 3 years.
Next year.
Probably next year, yeah.
It's going to be declining fortunes with Jake, I would assume.
Yeah.
Unless Geto really truly is in love with him. And, Geto has his sometimes inexplicable love affairs. Look at David Finlay. Again, who is not a bad professional wrestler, but he is not a main eventer.
No.
I like Finlay's in fact, I think in many ways Finlay's in-ring work is underrated, but he's not a main eventer.
No, you can't have main eventers from Hanover. That's just not acceptable. Also, but like again, right? If I'm Jake and I my trajectory, no matter where I go, will be the exact same. I might as well just go to New Japan and have that exact same trajectory there because it's gonna make me the most amount of money. And the rumor was right that the split happened from Noah because of money.
Well, they're probably not. Look, good on Jake for knowing what he's worth. Wrestlers should absolutely do that. But I think Noah was like, well, we're not going to pay this guy as much as the other main eventers.
I don't know what New Japan offered him or whatever, but I would assume that upper mid-carders in New Japan still make more money than what he would have made for that role in Noah.
Oh,
and definitely way more than what he would have made in All Japan.
Yep, absolutely. I think that is sort of the key to that. So yeah, that's our Jake aside. He finished off the G1 much better than he started.
Yeah, his match with Zach was really his match with Gabe. You really need to go and watch. If you haven't watched that match, you really need to go and watch that. It was one of my favorite matches in the entire G1.
Should Jake reinvent himself as a brawler?
Yes, he should. I think he would be really good at that.
Yeah, he should. That's actually. I was like,
get fat into death matches. I'd be into deathmatch, Jake.
Okay, so back to the N1 in the main event. Luis Monte defeated Kaito Kiyomiya in 1920 with the Vuelta Finale. I thought this was pretty good. This also was it felt like a spam move match where they hit each other with everything. I don't know. What do you think of Monte? You watch more Dragon Gate than I do.
I've kind of fallen out of it. I will say this. So when he came into Dragon Gate originally as Diamante, he was shit. He was bad. He was really, really bad. And then he kind of just kept improving. And I think for a while there, before I kind of stopped watching Dragon Gate, he was actually legitimately one of the best workers in the entire promotion. And I don't think he's at that level anymore that he was maybe a year or two ago. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just his aura is different now that he's no longer has the mask, or if he had to adjust his style or anything like that. And because I will say, yeah, this match was really good, but I was also walking away disappointed because I saw that on the tournament schedule, and I was like, okay, yeah, they're putting this on as the first main event because they know they want to really set a mark and have one of the best matches of the tournament as the main event of night one. And I don't think this was one of the best matches of the tournament. Not even the tournament isn't even over yet, and I don't know if I would put this in probably it would still make my top 10 for the tournament, but I think it would already take one of the back spots for that.
it'll probably drop out of your top 10 by the end of this tournament.
Yeah, I'm pretty like unless like again way more people get injured and we only get like 2 more like tournament matches per show, then maybe it stays on. But then otherwise, like unless everybody underperforms, I don't think it stays on there on that list.
Yeah.
Which again doesn't mean it was bad. It was just okay. It was good, not great.
Yeah, I mean that to me, I don't know. It's like I think Monte does some impressive stuff, but it just doesn't like get to that next level for me.
And also, let's be honest, the gear is bad.
Yes, okay.
The gear is bad. I think that hurts it a bit as well. It's just, I don't know, this weird fucking like pulp novella, like hero look, like because he looks like, like what's the guy? I don't remember, like the guy that was in all of the pulp novellas with the long hair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Basically, what he looks like. Or he looks like a telenovela like star, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. I struggle to take that seriously as someone trying to win a fight, basically.
Yeah. So, that was that show, and then we move on to the 9th at Cork in Holland for the 974 fans, the first of 3 nights. Corkin, and we start off with Josh Briggs defeating Atsushi Katoge in 5:47 with the lariat. We already talked about the injury. You thought that he was a little cavalier with the way he threw Katoge, which was like the first move of the match, and then he just like squashed him, and Katoge got a couple hope spots, excuse me. And then after that, we had in Block B, Yoshiki and Amura defeating Alpha Wolf in 10:43 with the Muso. I enjoyed this. Alpha Wolf, again, can go sort of like toe-to-toe with Inamura, but also this was Inamura's first victory over someone that wasn't a rookie, basically, right?
Yep. In NOAH at least. Like he has obviously beaten non-rookies, but like this was his very first ever singles victory over a non. I don't think even singles victory. I think actually just victory permanently over someone that isn't a young boy.
So things are finally looking on the up and up for Inamura.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I would say he's probably one of the guys I've liked the most so far in the tournament. Because I think he's putting in hard work literally every single match. And he mashes really well with a good chunk of the roster.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, then we had Luis Monte defeating Masakina Miya with the Super Tigre, which was, I don't know, fine.
Yeah. I struggle to remember this match, which is not good because it's not that long. Yeah. Because I'm like, I do remember that this match happened, but I can't really actually tell you much about it. And it's really only been a couple of days.
I know. To me, the only Monte match I have any memories of is the Kiyomiya match because of the result, right? That's the only thing that's out of my head. And then we had 8-man tag. That was Amasa, Hayata, Shuji Kano, and Aina defeating Daga, Super Crazy, Kai Fujimura, and Yu Owada. Paul, did you watch this?
I think so. I don't remember it, but yeah.
Well, then we go back to the N1, and we have in the B block Wagner defeating Uka Sasaki in 11:14 with the Wagner driver.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a little weird because I thought like Sasaki controlled a lot of this match, strangely enough, even though you would have thought Wagner would have had more momentum on listening and everything like that. But, to me, I had it like listed at 3 stars, right? Perfectly good wrestling.
And I mean, it's a good sign that for like Sasaki, if he like takes like the majority of a match still, puts on like good performances, because I think that's especially something like young, like not very experienced wrestlers very often struggle with.
Yeah.
Like doing like a lengthy control sequence. And I think he like acquitted himself well here.
Yeah, for sure. And then Block A. Jack Morris defeated Dragonbane in 10:51 with the Tiger Driver. I thought this was good. I thought that it was a little sloppy, but I thought that the finishing stretch was great with them just like kicking out of everything, and then Morris finally getting that Tiger Driver on.
Yeah. No, I do agree. Like the thing that I thought it was still a good match, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of sloppiness in there as well. Like at times it seemed like they weren't exactly on the same page as well, but then they kind of found it by like the end of the match, and then like the finishing sequence they did really well. But yeah, before that I was like, okay, I don't know if these two are really mashing very well, but they got there by the end.
I feel like they could now that they could probably have another match. That would be pretty good if they did it again.
Yeah, well, now that they've kind of like figured each other out, probably, yeah.
Next up, Keno defeated Titus Alexander in 16:26 with the PFS. I thought this was a great match. I went 4 stars on it.
Didn't quite go that high, but yeah, it was a massive improvement over like the night 1 match for Titus.
I mean, look, I don't think Titus is that far off from being amazing, really.
Oh, no, absolutely not. He is insanely talented. And if you don't think he is, I don't know what to tell you, it's like,
well, okay. So I have written in my notes that I need to talk about this. People are complaining about Titus Alexander in NOAH. Why? Because he does like the lethal injection and he does other flippy moves, right? That people are like, well, why is he adding an extra flip to this? You know what? At this point, 15, 20 years ago, I would have given more of a shit. At this point, with professional wrestling, I do not care that Titus will put in an extra flip here and there. Some of this is this bizarre, I think it's linked to Osprey derangement syndrome. I think it's also this bizarre curve that certain foreign workers in Japan are graded on, especially if they come from the American Indies. Look, I'm sorry, but give me Titus Alexander doing a lethal injection any day of the week over anything that's frankly embarrassing, like House of Torture, like Voodoo Murders, like the Brochachos, and all the other shit in pro wrestling. Like we were talking about how Ogawa's the last of the dying breed and no one is going to be like him again. I agree. But I am not going to completely like go all Cornette and have some like Cornettian take on this because Titus does some extra flip in his moves. Titus in this style and this Osprey stuff, we've already mentioned this, is the future of pro wrestling, and it is still better than all the other shit we've been getting. Interference, whether it's fucking Taru or Dick Togo or whoever is doing it in AEW these days. I don't care. I will take Titus Alexander any day of the week, and he's going to be a big star.
I mean, yes, no, I agree. I will say lethal injection is one of my least favorite moves, always has been, I think, because it just looks like absolute shit 80% of the time it's done. But I also think it's a very minor point, like it's a very minor thing of like Titus Alexander's like arsenal, right? It's not even his finisher.
You know what my biggest issue with Titus Alexander is? It's the NXT level facial expressions.
Yes. No, his facials, he definitely has to get much more under control.
Which he dialed back on in later shows. I will give him that. Actually. But
no,
I agree. Shows it was way more pronounced.
Yeah, he had worse NXT faces than the NXT guys in the tournament, which is very funny. But no, I don't get how like you just watch Titus Alexander who's like what 23 and has been wrestling for like 3 years less. How you can watch this guy and be like, oh, this guy is bad and not talented. Like that's insane. just because he does the lethal injection. Like, I hate the lethal injection. I legitimately despise the move. But like, he's still very obviously talented, and he will drop it eventually. Like any wrestler that has any kind of like, or he will make it a lot less of a pronounced part of his arsenal as well eventually. Because it's also just not good to like take that bump everywhere all the time as well. So yeah, I don't know. I think if that's what you base your criticisms on, I don't know, that doesn't necessarily seem very serious, or it seems like you're looking for something to dislike.
He's not a finished product, but I feel like this is
exactly because there are actually things you can criticize him on. There are actually things you can criticize him on that you should do, and it's like it's not that specific part.
Yeah.
And then to go from there and say that he's not talented is insane.
N1 victory main event: Kaito Kiyomiya versus Rei Saito Ogawa went to a time limit draw in 30 minutes. Now, Paul, tell me, these guys were both clearly have received training from Yoshinari Ogawa.
Oh yes, very obviously.
I mean, this was awesome. I'm not sure I would go quite match of the year level. I saw people giving this like.
Oh yeah. You're actually with me there, because I was kind of afraid that I'm like, because I felt like literally for a while that I'm like standing on an island where like I see people. Oh yeah, that's where I am at as well. Where I'm like,
yeah.
This was really great match, but not match of the year level to me.
No. But look, it got a lot of eyeballs on this tournament, and I don't understand why. This match was briefly put up on YouTube by NOAH and then taken
because Japanese promotions content distribution strategy is dog shit.
But NOAH puts up full matches on their YouTube, or how recent it was.
I mean, maybe there's like legal reasons where like there's some contract or whatever that they can't put up like recent matches up for free forever, where they like probably had to like bring this out of like Wrestle Universe or Abema or whoever like organizes that like, hey, there's like a lot of people buzzing about this match. Can we put this up for free on our YouTube to get some more eyeballs on this tournament? And they were like, no, we want subscriptions. And they were like, can we at least get 24 hours? And like, fine. But it's weird that it's like was literally only up there for like a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Because we know for sure that there were people that were like, oh yeah, let me go watch this match now. Oh, why is the link expired?
All Japan has much better. I think All Japan is less unencumbered by this stuff. They'll just on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, their content strategy is very easy. We put everything up on alljapan.tv, and then every once in a while we'll give you like a classic match on YouTube that also went up on the Gaora channel. So
yeah. So I mean, the headlock stuff is pure Ogawa greatness.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew he was retiring and decided to like.
I mean, it was a decent enough couple of days later. They probably were informed about it already at that point.
Yeah, just working the headlock, and then Kiyomiya went after the legs. And how awesome was that Dr. Bomb at the end?
Oh God, yeah, that was really awesome. I was like, oh man, so you were gonna like steal the match literally in like at the very last literally with the bell.
It made so much sense. Like Kiyomiya was going for the Shining Wizard. He grabs him and Dr. Bombs him, but can't like turn over in time.
Yeah, I mean, he literally he hits the move and time expires basically.
There was like a brief second where like, he was like, I can't turn over.
Yeah, and then it's just bell rings. No, but that was an amazing finish.
Yeah. So yes, you should watch it if you haven't.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we obviously hated it because we only gave it 4 1/4, but like you should still go out of your way and watch this match. It's probably I would still say it's the best match in the tournament so far. Trying to think. Is there anything I would go higher on? No, I think this one would still be the highest one for me so far, at least.
Okay, so we go on to August, because I'm reading these off of Pearl Love and the day, and we put the month first in North America. But
Yeah,
August,
it's not. No, yeah, we're still in August, Gerard. It's not. It's not October yet.
So there was an opening match that was Taniguchi Miyawaki versus Kazuyuki Fujita and Kai Fujimura. Fascinating teaming, but I did not watch that. So we go to Tavion Heights versus Alpha Wolf in the B block, which Heights won in 10-12 with the Heights bomb. This was
Actually, sorry, just real quick. Actually, I had something to talk about for that opener.
Oh, okay.
Just remembered. Basically, afterwards, like Fujita and Taniguchi kind of like went into it with each other, and I'm actually not sure that actually might have turned into like a little bit of a shoot.
Really?
Because Fujita proper stiffed Taniguchi.
Oh.
And like you could actually see like Taniguchi's like cheek like well up and everything, and they like threw a bunch more strikes at each other. So I'm not sure if Fujita just like intent, like if that was like prearranged or not, but like he definitely like he threw a proper shoot like forearm strike into like Taniguchi's side there.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, I did not. I might have to go back and watch that. That's crazy.
I mean, the match itself, yeah, you literally don't even have to watch the match. It's like after the match. So
okay. So anyway, Heights versus Wolf. This was a much better outing for Heights. He just felt more comfortable. He looked like he was more comfortable. He showed off all of his cool moves. Now, again, I mean, he's green and that gets a little repetitive, but this was a perfectly serviceable 10-minute match. And God, that belly-to-belly suplex he won with was beautiful.
oh god, yes. Also, he got like Heights chance in Kurikan as well.
Yeah.
Like that crowd was into him like instantly as well.
He's getting over.
Mm-hmm.
And
he also like, I mean, maybe it's also like, I think maybe like it hurt him as well to like just be in that a bit dire atmosphere in the Yokohama Budokan. And I don't know, I kind of have a feeling that he's been watching some Japanese tapes as well. Because he seemed genuinely excited to be in Kurikan.
Yes, and also he gets it. Okay, I was going to talk about this later because I think Heights just keeps getting better. But I've been very happy with how Heights has turned out in this tournament. And plus, he made those comments about like, I want to face Keno. Facing Keno will make me stronger. Like he gets it.
Yeah, and then that was his best match of the tournament. But yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. So don't want to take that away.
So, I mean, here's the thing. I feel like someone like Heights is not going to reach his full potential as a professional wrestler in the WWE system.
No, absolutely not.
Because he has got tremendous potential.
Yeah.
If you
put that guy in a dojo with Ogawa, for like 6 months, and like, oh my god, it would be so good.
Yeah. Right. Whereas he's gonna get he's in the no counter catch crew right now, but any of those guys, okay, that's a nice little mid-card thing for NXT for the wrestlers. But if he ever makes it to the main roster, he's going to get given a more traditional WWE-ish gimmick.
Yeah.
And nor will he be able to show off all of what he can do. Like, how many times is Tavion Heights going to use like a full Nelson into a cradle on the main roster? Or even NXT?
Probably not a lot.
But he will.
I'm yeah. And it's fine. He's gonna like move up to the main roster and become a part of Street Trash.
And then so next B block, Manabu Soya defeated Titus Alexander in 13:49 with the jumping DDT. I like this a lot too.
Oh yeah, I love this one as well.
This was great. I thought Soya was just great here because he would just like slap the taste out of Titus's mouth whenever like Titus was getting the momentum. But then they built to like them having their chop battle where Titus was like, trying to show he could hang with like Mr. Beefcake, Manabu Soya, and just like him kicking out of a bunch of stuff, and then finally Soya having to whip out the jumping DDT to put him down. I thought this is just great.
Yeah, no, I love this match as well. This was really, really good. I said Titus continuing. Like, I mean, really, like both Heights and Titus showing that, like, they can actually go, which was a bit unfortunate on the first night. And yeah, Sawyer just being like an absolute machine as well. Just, where's this guy been for like the last 12 years?
I mean, it's like the way that he got into the shape and the way that he is working is just like, this guy's not finishing in second place in the block and doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. he has to go. There's no way he got into the shape to be like eliminated on the final block night. No.
Yeah, exactly. And then next up, Dragon Bane in the A block. Dragon Bane defeated Luis Monte in 12:48 with a Hurricane Rana. You know what, Paul? I dug this. Because
this had some insane spots as well.
And the God, that moonsault off of the entrance.
Oh God!
Seats, and then Monte rolling down the stairs,
bumping down the stairs.
Yeah, like, you know what? Just have Monte do these spot fests. That's fine. I think.
Yeah, I think that would be a much better like thing for him to do. Like, this was like the most memorable. I mean, but then again, the most memorable thing in like Luis Monte's match outside of like the Kaito match is like something the other guy in the match did. But it is, I mean, to be fair to Monte, he has always been a really great, like, it's one of the reasons why he works so well in Dragon Gate. It's because he's a great base, and he showed that here.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that's his problem in this tournament as well, where it's like, it's not a lot of high flyers in this tournament.
No. Right? That's right. So it's like, okay, so to me, he stands out much more in this, in this sort of thing and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
no, but I will agree that this was like either man's like best match in the tournament, I would say.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it's Bane's, but I thought that because I really like Bane versus Kaito too.
Yeah, it's close, definitely. Yeah.
And then so next we have Keno. Keno defeated Uka Sasaki in 11:25 with the Dragon Suplex. Now this is like where Sasaki's wheelhouse is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can both do the pro wrestling, they can both do the grappling and the shoot style. I thought that Keno selling here was awesome to just put over like how like much of a threat Sasaki was, and I love this. I love this finishing sequence. Sasaki's in the reverse knee bar. Keno makes the ropes. They both get up. Sasaki goes for a takedown. Keno kicks him in the head, and they for the win. That was awesome.
Yeah, you took that right out of my mouth. I wanted to talk about that finishing sequence as well. I screamed when I saw that. It was so good. When I was actually the finish, I was like, "Oh, that's so fucking good. That's so cool." And that kick looked great as well. And just because I mean, basically that was like that was the actual finish, right? Like the actual finish was him just basically knocking him out with the kick, and then just catching his like unconscious body and just suplexing him and pinning him. It's such a good finish.
And then we had a junior 6-man. Did you watch this?
Yeah, but nothing really memorable. Like, it's just teasing Rattel's drama, which cool. Yeah.
And Block A, Jack Morris defeated Josh Briggs in 11:25 with the shooting star press. Paul, I thought this was a perfectly good match. I like how I liked Morris's performance in this. I thought he sold the back and the ribs well. I liked his diving under Briggs's legs because of Briggs's size and everything like that. And then they do their back and forth moves at the end. Morris gets the knee and the shooting star press. A nice little clean 3.5-star match. I don't know, Paul. Did you hate this?
No, I would say that this was like Break's best match on the tournament.
Okay.
It was good. Yeah, and I agree that like the finishing sequence was really good. I think Morris like played well into played well with the height as well, right? Like it felt like he had something to overcome here. So I also agree that it was like a perfectly acceptable match.
Mm-hmm. And then in the main event, Yoshiki Inamura defeated Akio Dr. Wagner Jr. in 2109 with the Muso, the biggest win of Inamura's career, no question. Former GSC champion. They were on their way to something great. And this turned out pretty good because Wagner did the senton and probably injured his back. And I thought, quite like go. I was expecting like a bigger balls out finishing stretch. So I ended up going with 3.5 stars on this match, but I thought they were going to trend towards 4. Now it did not fall apart quite like in Kitamiya versus Morris, but it didn't also reach its potential after Wagner's injury either.
Yeah, it did. It was very clear that they like had to like dial it down a lot after Wagner got injured on the dive. And I mean, you could actually hear him like retch as well.
Oh yeah,
after the injury, it was like, it was pretty rough. And then the match itself afterwards, like they had to like slow things down a lot, and I think they still got a decent match overall. But there was only so much you could do with Wagner after he got injured, and I hope he'll be back soon. It would be a shame that let's say he's like out for like 6 months and then he just goes to the US and we don't even get like a farewell or anything like that. That would suck.
Yeah.
So we'll see how serious this actually is.
Yeah. So, and then on the final night at Korakuen Hall on August 11th, in front of 957 fans, we saw Block B. Uka Sasaki defeated Alpha Wolf with a sleeper hold. What do you think of this?
I thought this was pretty good as well. I think it's one of those things where like Alpha Wolf is kind of underrated in terms of like mat work and everything. But there was another injury scare here as well, which
So honestly, I thought I was going to say I didn't think much of this match until the end. There was also that botch that Wolf had on a springboard, although Sasaki, showing that he's getting experience, just ran right up to Wolf and kicked him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a
good really good instincts there. Yeah.
Now I like the last couple minutes where they just started hitting each other real hard was fine, but I didn't think much of this, honestly.
Okay. Fair enough. But I think at least, right, this was just an injury scare. This isn't actually Alpha Wolf. Like, I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Did you watch this Shuji Ishikawa 6-man?
Yes, I actually watched that one.
So it's Shuji Ishikawa, Shuhei Taniguchi, and Kaya Fujimura versus Naomichi Marufuji, Takashi Sugera, and Junta Miyawaki when Ishikawa pinned Sugera with the Splash Mountain. I gotta say, I don't love Noah running mid-card shit in the middle of a tournament when I sort of to the tournament.
You like it more like New Japan, where you can just skip past all of that stuff and then just watch the tournament matches?
They don't really do that during the Carnival or All Japan either. Although
true.
You can run 2 tournaments at once. But, Yeah.
I mean, the match itself was fine. I mean, it was basically just a setup for the title match, but I was surprised that Junta didn't lose here. I don't remember if this was before or after he lost the Brave Gate challenge. I think this might have been just before.
Wasn't the Brave Gate challenge on Monday?
Yeah, I think that was on Monday. So yeah, I guess then it makes sense that he didn't take the pin here.
Yeah.
But I was still surprised. Because it's not like they like protected him beforehand. It's not like he took pins, but he was still on the losing end of the match. So, Yeah. No, wait, he won this one, sorry. But like there was another 6-man where he was like on the like losing side as well. So
and And then in the N1 Block A, Dragon Bane defeated Master Kitami in 12-11 with the Santa Maria. I was like, I don't know how that's going to go into this, but I thought this is a lot of fun. Good speed versus power. Kitami is actually base for these smaller guys. I was sort of surprised with how much offense that Bane did get. I'm sorry, I should say, right? And I thought, pretty standard finishing, and then like he hits the knee when like Kitami is going for like I think a lariat, and then just hits the Santa Maria and gets the wind, which is a bit of a surprise. But I mean, I thought it was very solid.
I'm surprised how many points he's getting actually.
Yes.
Like I kind of had him down there as like, I mean, I would guess that he's losing out from here on.
I mean, man, he seems to really love these guys.
Yeah. But like I can't see him get to like 8. That seems like a lot. But I mean, he's doing really, really well. Yeah, I agree. Like he had good chemistry with Kitamiya. I don't think we've ever really seen Kitamiya like do base stuff really, because I mean that's not really like the NOAH style. But
yeah,
it actually made me want to see him like face more like luchadors, like more high flyers to actually see.
Send this man to Mexico.
Yeah. Or if we could somehow turn back time and get like actually good Kota Ibushi. Could probably do some crazy stuff as well. But yeah, I would give him a run in Mexico for sure. It's not like Noah's doing anything serious with him.
Oh yeah. That's true. So we then move on to Manu Busoya defeating Tavion Heights in 12-22 with the Dando. Paul. Oh, this is when Tavion really came into it. I think this might be my favorite Tavion match of the tournament so far.
Oh, I mean,
the Keno
this and the next one are both really good.
Okay, can we talk about? Okay, he fucking does the double leg takedown, amateur style stuff. He goes full Nelson cradles that the crowd bites on for those 2.9 counts, and they just throwing the bombs at each other, and then Soya getting the win with the Dando. I loved it.
Yeah, I will say some of his forms still look a little bit rough. Because he does them a little over dramatic, but like otherwise, I do love that I assume they basically just told him, you want to do all of your like amateur wrestling stuff? Yeah, go nuts, man. And yeah,
is a
you can see them unleashed. Yeah.
And Soya looks credible on the mat with him.
Exactly.
Because of his size.
So I think that's really what helps him here as well, that he's in there with a bunch of guys that were also amateur wrestlers. So
yeah.
Like he definitely seems like a guy unleashed where he's basically, oh man, I can do all of this cool shit. Okay, let me do all of this cool shit then.
Mm-hmm. And then, did you watch this junior tag?
Yeah, but it was again more of the same. Really, it's just like a setup for the
Tadasuke Pindokata or
Owada.
Yeah,
Hayata
Yohei and Tadasuke and Daga.
No, Hayata Yohei, Tadasuke versus Daga, Super Crazy and
Owada, yeah. And then Block A, Luis Monte defeated Rei Saito Triple Crown 1450 with the Vuelta finale in 2. Oh, I don't know. This was a little weird. I felt like Monte just like controlled most of this match.
Yeah, I was disappointed. And he just won. Like that's the weird part, right? I was waiting for the Uiva comeback, and it never came. He just won the match.
Uiva is great selling, which is the only other thing I could say about this match, but it's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean that's literally I think what I wrote down as well. Where it's like, yeah, that was just there. That was disappointing. I went into that one. That was like another one that I kind of had like written down as like a match to look forward to in the tournament, and then it just basically just happened. And yeah, I don't know. The match, I think it was really hurt by the match structure of just Monte basically just squashing him for like 15 minutes.
Yeah. And then Block B, main event. Titus Alexander defeated Yoshiki Inamura in 1806 with the Big Ugly. First of all, a big spot for both of these guys to get the main event of a Korakuen, even if it's on the third night. and they're probably expecting it not to draw as well as the other nights, but still, that's a big thing. And I felt like this really made Titus like a big deal to the Noah fans.
Mhm.
I mean, this was like great back and forth action, and then like all of a sudden, like Inamura like took control, and you're like, is Titus going to survive? And he did, and he hits a big knee, and then the big ugly to get the win. And I think that this is up there for one of the best matches in the tournament. In all honesty, I'm not sure
I fully agree.
but it's like top 3 maybe.
I went 4 stars on this one.
So did I.
Yeah, I love this one. I thought this was great. It was really helped as well that the crowd was pretty molten hot for it as well.
These Korakuen crowds are pretty good for Noah. I would say.
I'm sad that they didn't break 1,000 for any of them. But like in terms of like, because again, that has been an issue for Noah in the past, right? Where like the crowds were just really quiet, and these crowds aren't quiet. Like they were making noise for everything. They were going crazy. They loved both of these men. And yeah, they were really fine with either of them winning, and they were nuts for like every single near fall that happened. And when the finish came, and that finish looked amazing as well. I mean, I have to say, probably helps. Like I'm a sucker for rolling chaos theory. It's like it is one of my favorite moves. I have to say.
Are you like a big Doug Williams fanboy?
Yes, I was about to say I'm actually a really big Doug Williams mark. I actually, fun fact, the only Doug Williams match I ever watched live, he was like a surprise entrant on a battle royal in Berlin. I popped massively for that. I think you can actually hear me scream on VOD.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, I love that finish as well. And it's always like, because again, you look at it like this, right? Like in matches like this, where like he hits it on a guy the size of Inamura, and it just looks insane.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Yeah, the way the crowd, like basically when he went in for the roll and then he hit it and the crowd just explodes and he gets the win. And yeah, I thought this was top stuff.
Sorry, Titus haters.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I really don't get it. I don't.
He's gonna come out of this tournament with a just like a huge leap forward. Anyway, we move on. N1 victory.
I mean, here's the other thing as well, right? He's gonna stick around in Japan, either with Noah or New Japan, until he gets signed by like a major American promotion.
Well,
So
I mean, he
might as well get used to him for a while.
Well, yeah, Titus is the kind of guy that's not going to drop his bags at the first like interest. He's a serious student of pro wrestling. He wants
He's
to be
smart.
in Japan.
Exactly.
He wants to be in Japan, right?
I mean, he said as much, right, in the promo he gave after the match.
Yeah.
Because again, they gave him a main event promo in Korakuen.
Yeah.
And he basically said as much. And he strikes me as a guy like that is smart enough to know I could sign like first chance I get and like, I don't know, work my way up from the ground to like get a mid-card title shot or whatever. Or I could work in Japan for a couple of years, get signed as a big star and come in as a main eventer.
Yeah, command.
You know, because that's how US wrestling works now. You can't work your way up to the main event. You have to come in as a main eventer.
I mean, he could get like a $60,000 a year like NXT salary probably in the next year. Or
he could get that now. He could just call them and just be like, yeah, sure, I'll take that contract you offered me last year.
60 might even be generous.
Yeah.
for your entry level NXT, but you know, he should be coming in there and demanding like $500K once he establishes himself or something like that. Okay, so and then we go to N1 Victory 2024 in Colts Kawasaki in front of 1,555 fans. Paul, do you think this has anything to do with the tag title match or Hajime Ohara's 20th anniversary match?
I do think Ohara probably had something to do with this. So because they did actually make like a big deal out of that, I do agree that they put the tag title match on here to like draw a few additional tickets as well. So you can say that you have like Marufuji and Segura and like a meaningful match. Because I mean, as much as I love Inamura and Soya, like I don't know if they would have sold this many tickets with just that match as the main event.
No. I did not watch the first 3 matches of this show. I did not care about Hajime Ohara's 20th anniversary show. Although I do see Hitoshi Kamano was in it.
Yep, they put the backbreakers together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was like a long thing before the match as well with some woman. They said who she was. I forgot who she was. Who gives a shit? Who gave like some flowers to Ohara and some card or some check or I don't know what. Sure, why not? I mean, he's from there. It was his anniversary or whatever. Whatever, basically. Guess. Oh, also after that, we should probably mention as well, because we kind of forgot him on the injury list. Hiroki announced that he's also going to be out for a while.
Oh, I missed that.
Yep.
With what? Did you get?
I think he might be a neck injury as well.
Oh my god.
I don't know what's. I legitimately, okay, this might, like, we all know that wrestling is very dangerous, and we're actually.
Good time for a junior to be debuting.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, right, like, wrestling is very dangerous, and it's weird, like, it's actually good that we see, like, not that many injuries, as we probably should, given how, like, physically intense it is. Yes. But, like, the amount of, like, neck and spine injuries in NOAH over the last 2 weeks, I'm like, is there something wrong with their ring?
I don't know, Paul, and it's scary because it's also the someone died because of their neck.
Yes, it's especially because it's NOAH. Yeah, well, like a guy literally died in the ring because of a neck issue.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the thing, because I think it actually got overlooked because of the Ogawa retirement.
Yeah, I missed it. I totally missed that. Hiroki.
Here it is. Yeah, he's going to have surgery.
Shit.
But it didn't say what for. Let me see. Of the ossification of the yellow ligament. I assume that's some sort of translation issue, but that sounds more like a knee problem if it's a ligament.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Oh well.
So yeah, one more junior gone.
Hiroki it doesn't exactly like the world on fire, but I mean it sucks.
It's a body. It's a body on the roster that again is not there now.
Yeah. So we then move on to N1 Block A.
I mean, actually, wait. Sorry. Now that I think about it, does that mean the actually only people from Team NOAH that are currently active are Mohamed Yone and Akitoshi Saito, and one of those is retiring in like 2 months?
Yes. Shit, you're right.
Everybody else is out injured.
Oh, jeez, that's insane. None of them might be back in time, too, right?
Nope.
They're all.
Oh my god! Yeah, they're not gonna. Oh Jesus! This is cursed. This is so cursed.
Well, I feel like Go was gonna fucking haul his ass to the ring for that set of retirement, though.
I mean, they're gonna let him be at ringside, hopefully, but under strict orders to not get involved.
I don't know. I think the thing with Go is that he's gonna force himself back if he's like, half my roster, my beloved Noah is like injured. I gotta return.
I am Noah.
I am Noah.
As I'm like literally like my head is only still attached to my body because of tape.
Yes, I mean that's how he operates. I mean that's his attitude about these sort of things, right?
But man, his fucking mentor literally died because of this. You'd think him, out of everybody, would know that like this is not a good idea.
Well, he was also he was the last of the generation too. I would argue, where it's like you gotta make that town. You gotta sublimate what you do, what's best for you for the sake of the company type thing. You know?
Yeah, but again, you know, he was literally there. He stood ring. Yeah, I don't know. I just really hope that like. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to see a repeat, and especially like now everything is broadcast live. I really could go without seeing that.
Yeah. So back to the N1 Block A, Kato Kiyomiya defeated Dragon Bane in 12:45 with a modified Shining Wizard. I actually really like this.
Yeah.
Might be my favorite Bane match. It was just like, hey, like, and then Bane got a lot. Like, he was like, okay, got some stuff in the match. Kaido was in control. Then all of a sudden, Bane like did a bunch of big moves at the end and kicked it with Shining Wizard before Kiyomiya putting the modified Shining Wizard. It's just a really fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got a lot more than I thought it would. But I mean, that's really been the thing that we found out, right? That they're actually seems like they're actually really high on Dragon Bane.
Yeah. I mean, the Nosawa loves his luchadors. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, you know.
And as long as he picks like the good ones, I'm perfectly fine.
Oh
with
yeah,
that.
that's fine. I mean, they're all good except for Super Crazy.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
improved.
Yeah, I mean, but at this point, because I was also thinking it's like, okay, we let like Ninja Mac go, and there's like nobody under the junior roster, but like somehow Super Crazy is still here. But it might legitimately that he's under contract to be the liaison for the luchadors.
That's also very possible. And then Block B, Tavion Heights defeated Keno in 12:06 with the Heights bomb. Well, we talked about Heights wanting to face Keno. I thought that this was also very good. I think I like Soya just a little bit better, but like he went to the mat again, and then Keno just started kicking him.
Yes.
And you know, I thought that the finish was great because, like, you know, Heights rolls out of the way of double foot stops, just leaps up and gives another beautiful belly to belly to get the win, and everything. And then he just sells it like he won the lottery.
Oh yeah.
Right?
He was incredibly happy with this.
And then like he gets a handshake out of Keno at the end. Maybe a little reluctantly, but he did. Right?
Yeah. No, I actually, again, I thought the Soya match was great as well, but I prefer this one.
Okay.
Just because of like, you know, I love like all of the like amateur stuff they did at the beginning where like literally like he like overwhelmed Keno, and then Keno had to like roll out of the ring to like compose himself and all of that. And then Keno just like being like, okay, I probably can't match this kid on the mats. I'm just gonna like start kicking him really, really, really hard. And him doing like the 4 kicks on each corner and all of that. And I think Heights sold pretty well as well. And he has come leaps and bounds, like just within this tournament. And I don't know if there's any chance that he can maybe like send him here on excursion. But if they would be, I think he could benefit from this so much. And actually, that reminds me, because there's another thing I actually wanted to talk about with like sending guys like Tavion Heights here, and like also like sending like NXT wrestlers to like TNA and all of that.
Yeah.
So they're obviously never gonna openly admit this because they're WWE, and they'll never admit failure. But are these kinds of initiatives just like a tacit acknowledgement that their like performance center has failed?
That's interesting because, well, first of all, Heights is a legitimate performance center product.
Yeah.
Briggs is not.
Briggs is not. So like that's why I want to talk about it for like Heights. Yeah.
So who was in TNA? They sent Charlie Dempsey to TNA, but he is like
and Heights as well.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see here.
There was other people as well. I don't remember off the top of my head who else they sent.
Some of the women, maybe.
Yeah, they definitely sent a woman to wrestle Jordan Grace.
So I think I don't think they'll send anyone, but here's what the thing is. Okay, so it sort of is in a way, but it's like they're only going to send you if they believe in you.
Yeah, it's a finishing. It's like not like a finishing school, but it's definitely like, okay, get exposed to other styles to become better. But again, that in a way, right, is an admittance that like just being in the performance center isn't enough.
Yeah, it is a bit of a tacit thing, right?
Because they're like, okay, like you've shown like potential, so we know that we can like do something with you long term. Now go over here to Japan so you can become a better worker, because there's only so much we can do here.
But yes, I think it is a bit of a tacit admission because before the only places that NXT wrestlers would wrestle outside of NXT was either in Evolve,
Mm-hmm.
Booker T's Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah, which is not great. Oh, Tatum Paxley is who they sent to TNA from the women.
Okay. And they're also high on Tatum Paxley.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's like they'll send the people that they want some finishing work on outside, I guess.
So, which again, it's a good, like, I will have to actually give them credit because that is a good idea. But also considering how much money they put into the performance center, it's a bit of egg on their face as well.
Well, I mean, who's the biggest star that is a pure performance center trainee? Bianca Belair? I mean,
yeah, because Roman Reigns was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, who else is like a guy that only wrestled there? I mean, they're claiming a bunch of people, but like all of those people were like stars beforehand.
But Mercedes Moné was on the Indies.
Yeah.
Becky
same with Becky Lynch. Did Bailey have an
I don't know
indie run?
Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair, yeah.
Well, Charlotte Flair is also incredibly overrated.
Yes, but I mean, she was like, yeah. So like, there's a bunch of women.
Bailey was on the Indies for like 4 years.
Okay, no, then she doesn't count. No.
So I still think it's Bianca Belair. Which, here's the thing: Bianca Belair is like an elite level athlete.
Yes, like Olympic level athlete. Yeah.
I
mean, so is Tavian Heights. So.
Yeah, but it's like Bianca Belair would have been incredible wherever she. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's got it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think there's people that could be good pro wrestlers that get stunted by the performance center.
But now imagine how good Bianca Belair would be if she had spent some time in Marigold.
Yeah, exactly. Or somewhere else. Or
just
Indies.
Yeah. So I do feel like they've kind of realized that they need other places for these people to go, because just working within their own system isn't enough.
Yeah.
Logan Paul? No, but he never even went to the performance center. It doesn't even count.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Okay, so A block. Josh Briggs defeated Master Kid in 11:37 with the lariat. Okay, this is fine. I don't have anything to say about it other than it was perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, my problem here as well is like with Briggs as well. He's tall, but like I don't know, Masaki Tamiya projects so much better. You know, like it didn't really even like feel like. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like in theory, like the way the height differences here are, like that's not what the projection was that was happening. It almost felt like Briggs was working from underneath, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was another like weird one where it's like, yeah, the Morris match was okay, but in this one I'm like, I don't know. Like Briggs is like, obviously he already has a bit of a I will obviously admit that like he has very much an uphill battle for me because of all of the allegations against him, but like his work just isn't up to the standard of the rest, really.
And then for the GHC tag team title, Naomichi Marufuji and Takashi Sugiura defeated Shuji Ishikawa and Shuhei Taniguchi in 1816 with the ankle hold from Sugiura on Taniguchi. This is awesome.
Yeah, this rocked. Old man violence.
Old man Noah match, and I mean that in as an absolute compliment. My God. Sugiura went wild here. His stuff with Ishikawa, his stuff with Taniguchi, even Marufuji was feeling it, and I think he worked a little harder than he would have normally, even for a match of Marufuji would not, even in a tag title match, Marufuji does not completely turn it up as much as he potentially could, but God,
he picks his spots in these. But yeah, no, this was so good.
Yeah.
Is he? No, wait, I'm trying to think. But yeah, Taniguchi is the young boy in this match, right?
Yes.
Because he's
No,
47.
no, Marufuji's younger.
Oh, Marufuji's still young. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Marufuji started so young, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the least surprising result, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, no, there was no way, like, this random Ishikawa Taniguchi team was going to win.
And then, well, you never know if they wanted to keep Ishikawa around. And frankly, I think there's some space in this company that's opened up for Ishikawa
Yeah, for sure.
to fill some, you know.
I mean, that might be like because he started like working Evolution, so they were like, "Oh, is he gonna go back to All Japan? We should probably give him something to do."
Yeah. And then Yone and Katoshi Saito came out and challenged.
Yep. Which
like-
I could
like-
see them win.
Yeah, but I don't think they will.
No, because I mean, to me, it depends what they want to do for like the Saito retirement match, right?
Yeah. Feels like they're running up the title defenses before until the Let's Go Midori's are free again.
Yeah, basically, it's not like a zero defense title reign. They just
Yeah.
get a bunch in, and then yeah, exactly. They're probably going to do that match at like wherever they do the N1 winner versus Kaito.
Mm-hmm. And then they might even do it at Osaka. I'll check the schedule in a second. Block A, Ryo Iiwa defeated Jack Morris in 16:39 with the backslide. I thought that this was pretty good. I don't think it could quite get up there as one of the top matches of the tournament, but I did love the finish.
Oh, yeah, where he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, with the backslide. Another possible Ogawa tribute.
Yes. Hey, we were just saying nobody wrestles like Ogawa anymore, and Uiwa basically does for the tournament. Well, no, and actually, he's more like wrestling like a cross between Misawa and Ogawa, actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would definitely put this in top 10, maybe the lower end of the top 10 match in the tournament. I don't know. I just like, this is a very good, solid pro wrestling. I just didn't think it really peaked super high.
No. I think that's been like the thing with the N1 for like a while, like in previous years as well, right? Where like the floor is like pretty damn high, but then not a lot of stuff actually like breaks for like the like match of the year quality level like ceiling.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like that as well.
Yeah. And then in the main event, Yoshiki Inamura defeated Manabu Soya in 2019 with the Muso. I thought that, it was slow to build, but, solid enough work. Last 5 minutes or so was wild, though. With the jumping DDT into the Muso.
That was so good.
God, Paul, how many times do you just see two guys shoulder block each other and they just both fall over? I love that spot.
Yeah, it's great.
I love that spot. And then, Inamura picked up Soya when he was going for the Dando and just musoed him for the win.
Yeah, he's really getting into like getting the Muso out of like crazy positions, basically.
Yes. That is a great thing for him too.
Yeah.
So another
I love this.
I would put this, I don't know. I haven't really sat down to think about top matches of the tournament, but I would still put like a couple matches ahead of it, like the 30-minute draw and Titus versus Inamura.
Yeah, I would definitely say I would put it in my top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe the lower end of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about my top matches of the tournament.
Yeah, probably would put it after Soya versus Titus as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it has a chance to make the top 5.
I thought it was just sort of there for the first little bit, but the last few minutes were...
Yeah, the last few minutes were nuts, yeah. It was a little bit too long, but again, this might also be because there was an entire match missing on the show. So they probably had to give this a little bit more time maybe than they originally had planned.
So we look at the points. We got Block A, how at 6, Dragon Bane, Josh Briggs, Jack Morris, Louis Monte, and then Kaito Kiyomiya and Raiho at 5, Masa Kitami at 4, and Kotoge at 0. Then in B block, Keno 8, Soya 6, Titus Alexander 6, Tavion Heights 6, Yoshiki Inamura 6, Uka Sasaki 4, Alpha Wolf 2, and Wagner 2. Obviously stuck there.
Mhm.
I expect Kiyomiya and Oiwa to get some more points.
Yep.
I mean, I could see Oiwa going to the finals, but I think Jack Morris is gonna go to the finals, and I think Bane, Briggs, and Monte are gonna start to lose.
Bane, definitely. I don't think Bane wins another match, to be honest.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Because he beat at least he's one of the only ones that actually beat Kotoge, so he doesn't have that forfeit coming up anymore.
Yeah. I could see now. To me, what could be the most interesting is in the B block, because you've got Keno at 8, and then Soya, Alexander, Heights, and Inamura all at 6. So let me just go to the second last night. Okay, yeah. So we're going to Aichi on August 25th because it's the last block night. And okay, so you got Keno versus Inamura on the last block night. I think Inamura is winning.
Yeah.
You got Alpha Wolf versus Titus. Does Wolf knock him out?
Yeah, I think that's like because Wolf is only at 2 points right now. So I think that's like very clearly it's gonna like play spoiler to Titus there to knock him out.
We got Uka versus Tavion, which I can't wait for, honestly.
Yeah.
It's some mat work.
So that's gonna be a lot of mat work in that one, yeah.
I could see Tavion knocking out Sasaki. Or what's Sasaki?
I mean, it depends. Sasaki's at 4 points, so
he could knock out Tavion.
Yeah. But I also feel like Tavion might not win another match. So
okay, so there's only 3 B block. So hold up. Okay, so on the 18th this weekend. God, this tournament's going fast.
yeah, it's because they kind of like basically like they took a while off and then they ran a shitload of shows in a very short time.
Okay, so here's what's missing. Soya's not on that last night, but Soya's facing Alpha Wolf on the 18th.
Oh wait, is he getting a forfeit then over Wagner?
Fuck. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this. It's going to get too complicated.
Yeah, because the forfeits aren't factored into these like point totals yet. That's the problem.
So it's just, oh man, because that Wagner.
So some of these people have 2 more points than they are shown right now.
Man, here's the oh, that's so fucked for them because if they were supposed to do Soya.
Oh wait, Tavion hasn't faced Wagner. Oh wait, has Tavion already gotten his? Yeah, he would have already gotten the 2 points from the forfeit, right?
Yeah, man. So think about this. You were going to do Wagner versus Soya in the final night. Oh, that was a big one.
Yeah, that's like a big one to lose.
Okay. So some matches for September 1st at Osaka Edion #1 have been announced. So GHC Junior Tag Team title match, Kondo and Ada versus Hayata and Yohei. Whatever. Daga and Amaska have their rematch, which I assume. Paul, could you see Amaska winning this and then Daga leaving?
Like leaving completely?
Yeah, or for a while.
Yeah, I mean unless you want to like have some sort of weird turn and like we get like restocking of Stinger.
Why would you do this rematch unless you're gonna screw Amaska also?
Yeah, that's the thing. So either Daga leaves for a while or this is like some sort of nefarious dealings.
Yeah. GHC tag title match is at this show. So it's Marufuji Sugiura versus Saito and Yone. We have an 8-woman tag, which is Koki Amore, Mika Aono Bozilla, and Kazuna Tanaka, who is Minoru Tanaka's daughter, versus Takumi Aroha, Great Sakuya, Miyuki Takase, and Sandra Moon.
Yeah, I mean, that should be good.
As long as, whatever it depends if they decide to Sakuya this up heavily. Otherwise, it could be good.
I mean, she's been fine recently. They've kind of turned it down a lot, so I hope it stays that way.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So that is Noah. Finally, we get through that. What?
Jesus, that was I think that was one of the longest we stayed on just one promotion.
Well, that happens when people retire and get injured. And
Yeah. Well,
But-
yeah, like half the roster gets injured.
but look, if you are if you're thinking of watching the N1, you should watch it, at least the matches we picked out. I think
Yep.
the average match is better than the average G1 match, but I
Yep.
can't say that it has reached like the level of like Gabe versus Zach or like Takeshita versus ELP or something like that.
Or Uemura.
And Takeshita.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like super.
Those are super, but I feel like that's what we've had for like a while now, right? Where like the floor of the G1 is lower, but
Yeah,
the
it's
ceiling is
lower.
higher, and the N1 has a much higher floor but a lower ceiling.
Yeah. So All Japan Pro Wrestling. So we go to the Net 2 Summer Action Wars on August 3rd in Sunday Sun Plaza in front of 1,503 fans. Honestly, I thought they were going to draw more than 1,500.
Had still a good number. Like it's like the only recent show in there that beat it though was the Jinsei Shinzaki anniversary show.
Yeah. I mean, whenever All Japan draws more than 1,000 people in Tokyo, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about it. So we start off with Dan Tammer and Ryo Inoue defeating Shitaro Ashino and Seki Yoshioka in 9:43 with the power bomb from Tammer on Yoshioka. Very good opener. And then after the match, Dan and Ryo challenge for the All Asia Tag titles.
And Inoue with his new look as well,
Yes.
which
He looks like
yeah.
he's ready to get a push.
Yeah, this definitely like because he went for like a bunch of different looks in like pretty quick succession, right? And I feel like this is like what he's picked now as like this is what he's going to be, and I think he's actually graduated from being a young boy now.
Yeah, they got those two guys that are both juniors, I think.
Yeah, they should be ready soon to like
soon.
yeah.
So yeah, he's ready to move up. And then we had the Aizawa #1 send-off match because he's getting a tumor removed, and I think it's relatively benign, hopefully. So he'll be back. But Hokuto Omori, Kuma Rashi, Savage, Harley Jackson, Aizawa #1 with Jack Kennedy defeated Yuma Miyagi, Hideki Suzuki, Fuminori Abe, Kuroshio Tokyo Japan, and Seigo Tachibana in 14-15 with the frog splash from Omori on Tachibana. I thought like Aizawa was gonna lose, but no, they had Hokuto win here because I think Hokuto Gun's going to lose some match on some upcoming shows, so like have him win.
But I also like that they kind of gave like Aizawa like a cheer essentially to see him off, where they like threw him in the air.
Yeah. And then PWF World Junior Heavyweight Title. Mr. Saito Naruki Doi defeated Musashi in 14:07 with the Samson Clutch to make his first defense. Now, Musashi was basically the hometown guy here. He is from the neighboring Iwate prefecture, but also has like been a long time Michinoku Pro guy. So he was the hometown guy. This was really good. God damn if Naruki Doi isn't having
so good. How is he still this good?
Yeah. And I thought this was also like some of the best that Musashi's looked in All Japan so far.
Yeah.
Just what a match.
Yeah, I went 4.5 on this one.
Oh, really? Wow.
I thought this was great. I thought it was just such a good, like, high tempo match as well. And just, yeah, I heard it as well, like Joe said on the flagship, where it's like, it felt like this is basically what Dragon Gate used to feel like. And I fully agree. Like, that's basically what Dragon Gate used to be and kind of isn't anymore. Like And yeah, I think maybe that's why it hit with me more as well. And I will always give like a lot of benefit when it's like a joy match too, so that helps too. And yeah, I love this match.
And in a way came out to challenge,
Mm-hmm.
which that's going to be great.
Yeah. Like there's going to be some crazy kicks and everything coming. Yeah. And I do expect Doi to retain though, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
And then All Japan Army versus Alpida. Ryoki Honda, Ren Ayabe, and Rising Hayato defeated Kento Miyahara, Suwama, and Hikaru Sato in 14:22 with a death roulette from Ayabe on Sato. Perfectly solid 6-man. It didn't really stand out in any way, but this is just about getting Alpida some wins over some veterans.
Yep. Do you think it's weird that like Kento basically challenged to have like the title match after Anzai versus Yuma?
Yes.
After losing here?
Well, Paul, it totally killed my booking prediction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It kind of really negatively impacted my like
I don't understand
excitement for Anzai versus Aoyagi. I
don't understand why you couldn't have held off.
Because fucking Kento Hogan needs to have like the
I don't think it's all on Kento Hogan. I think that was
no, it's not, because they literally did this to this match as well, to like Anzai versus Saito, where they already were like, oh yeah, and then the winner of this is gonna face Yuma Aoyagi here. And it's like, okay, why are we already announcing this?
Mm-hmm.
It's very okay. So like they're shotgunning a lot of Triple Crown matches right now.
Yeah.
In like very quick succession.
Yeah.
Do you think Fukuda is looking to sell the company?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right? Because you shotgun a bunch of title matches with your hot young babyface, and you draw a bunch of good houses, which makes the promotion look a lot more enticing to buy than it would otherwise if it was like somewhere in the doldrums.
Interesting. I don't know. Fukuda struck me as the guy that was in it for the long haul, for better or worse.
But maybe his mind also changed when, his wife died and all of that.
Well, then what was all that stuff going on at the early part of the year? It felt like he was like trying to do.
Well, that was. I think we can just write that off as him being like kind of insane with grief. I don't think we can really count that. I think we kind of have to like write that off to like almost quite literally like temporary insanity.
Yeah. So you think he's like now he's like less into the company basically?
Yeah, it might also just be like maybe he's like ready to retire. Maybe he's just like, okay, maybe I should just enjoy my life because you never know when it's over. And
yeah, sure.
I don't know. It's just weird that they're doing this many in this short amount of time. It's very odd.
It is. But I feel like, well, I think it's more like, okay, so they still haven't returned to pre-pandemic levels of show running.
No.
And so they got to so if they're going to continue to run fewer shows, you got to have a bigger average attendance instead of do the grind on the small towns.
True.
And that's sort of what
which they do have, yeah, because they have a quite considerable like uptick in attendance year over year.
No, and their average attendance is actually pretty darn good, but that's because of a lot of fewer shows.
Yeah, because you're not running like Kumamoto or whatever.
Yeah, but you know what? Not impossible.
I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I don't know if that is like an interest or not. But I mean, he did also mention, right, that like last year was like the first year the company was profitable when he ran it.
Yeah. Then why sell?
Who knows? I just feel like there's a danger of him burning out the territory right now.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. regardless of what his rationale is, and I tend to think it's like they're just trying to top average attendance to maximize them. Anyway, the point is that they're burning up this territory. They're going to burn out Anzai.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, but Anzai should just be dropping it to the other Yuma.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
But then the problem is you have Yuma as like you have Aoyagi as a transitional champion, because there's no way they're gonna have Kento lose 4 Triple Crown matches in a year.
Yeah.
Like whoever faces Kento in that match is going to lose. Because otherwise, like, again, it's not just that it's Kento losing 4 Triple Crown matches in a row. It's Kento losing 4 Triple Crown matches in a row in a year. Like, within 365 days, that's not happening.
Yeah. So why go back to Kento right now?
Because you want to draw more big houses, but yeah, I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah. Because you literally had Anzai run through everybody. So now you have to put it on Kento because you don't have anyone left that can challenge Anzai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll get to that soon. Mm-hmm. And so after this, we had the very strange. We're going to do a intermission before the last 2 matches of the show. But when we get back to the show, special singles match. Jun Seto defeated Davey Boy Smith Jr. in 17-17 with the jackhammer. I thought this was fine, but I thought that the finish just came out of nowhere. And I'm sorry, Jun Seto's. Dare I make a critique of the Setos these days, but I'm going to. His jackhammers look very good.
Yeah, no, it's not great. He needs to think about something, because like Rei has kind of figured out how to make his stuff look good and like keep it simple.
Yeah.
So maybe June needs to like think about
the Psycho Break is perfectly good finisher.
Yeah, I don't know why he just doesn't do that instead.
Yeah. And then look, I think Davey Boy Smith is a perfectly solid, good wrestler and he fits into what All Japan is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I expect him, though, especially since he ate a loss here, and I think he's going to be doing some stuff in the fall, because I think him and Kento are now a tag team.
Yeah. I think he's still, I think we talked about this before, right? He's the very obvious favorite to win the Royal Road.
Yeah, or at least go to the final.
But again, I feel like actually we might see June versus Davey Boy as a rerun in the finals there.
Yeah, definitely. So let's preview a couple of shows, because we got a show this Saturday.
What about the Triple Crown match?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe that.
That's so funny.
I forgot this Triple Crown match.
To be fair, we've been at this for nearly 2.5 hours now.
Our runtime is 2:25 right now.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
That's funny. I mean, I was I thought you were going to talk about the spot where June was walking out and then Rei just meets him at the entrance and they just forearm fist bump, and they just probably just kept the music running and all of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the best part. That was just the seamless transition, right? Okay, so obviously it feels like this match happened so long ago too. Yuma Anzai.
I mean, it kind of has. I mean, it's been no, not quite yet 2 weeks, but yeah.
And Paul, what I'm about to say will make you think I can't believe I can't even believe that you forgot it like you did. Paul,
you hated it. You thought it's the worst match on the year.
This might be match of the year.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me at all.
I thought this was just an incredible match, start to finish. Anzai was amazing. I mean, Rei Saito was amazing, and Sue Williams put it best. I didn't think of this at the time because I've watched this match 3 times. But Rei Saito was like a bear. This is Anzai was like a bear.
Yeah, actually, my thing as well. Yeah, with the bear, that's something I thought for this match specifically as well. It actually, what it struck me as well. It's because these are basically Suwama's two sons, essentially, or two of Suwama's sons. It's like the two sides of Suwama fighting each other. Because you have like the more like technical like stuff, right? Like the more like amateur wrestling stuff from like Anzai. And then you have like the big bear pawing at you with Rei Saito. And that's kind of like, if you mix those two together, you have Suwama.
Yeah. You do have Suwama, for sure. Like just everything about it. Like I wasn't the first to point this out, but like Rei just running right into Anzai into the post was a
Yes, that was so great.
instead of doing the obvious Anzai ducks out of the way.
Nope, he just crushes him into the post. So fun.
God, I mean, if I had a critique, it was like this Gimlet still looks shaky as hell, even when he turned him up.
I think it looked better than I thought it would be here, but it's basically because he also just picked him up out of the corner and put him down.
It was a smartly designed finish with like Rei going for the superplex and then Anzai flipping down. And some of those near falls, my God.
Oh God, yeah, the crowd was insane too.
And everything.
Oh, I bit on that one where it's like, oh my God, is Rei actually going to do it?
And also, Rei's now like hitting the Eisbein out of nowhere. You know.
Oh yeah, it's just it doesn't set up. It's just boom. You just see a guy running, and then just like this Rei Saito putting his face.
Couple times, he would grab his hand and like he was about to do like the iron claw or something, and then like set up for it. But now it's just like big moment, bam, just
You just have like Anzai like run in to like hit his knee, and he just gets like a full like palm of like Rei Saito's big hand to his face.
I mean, despite that, despite the Carnival Finals, I still think Rei is the better worker.
Yeah, no, I agree. I always was like I think June is good, but like Rei to me is like has been way more consistent in singles matches than June.
I want to see a big Rei versus Kento match now too.
Oh yeah. Like if he hits that straight jacket on him, that's gonna look nuts as well.
Yes, that will look nuts. Yeah, I went 4 3/4 on this match.
Same. I'm there as well. It's not quite because I was like flirting with 5 for a bit, but then I think it fell just short of that. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
I think it edges out Kento versus Anzai too.
In terms of like the best title defense.
No, just in terms of the best Anzai match,
yeah, I would say it's the best match. I think I preferred the Suwama title defense. I still think this one is better. I just in terms of like which was the second best, but I do think this is the best title defense. He said yes.
Just amazing match.
Yeah, no, I mean it's insane how good he is, like already.
Hooting and hollering.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at the match. On this Saturday, August 17th at Arena Tachikawa Tihi. You know what? Let's look at the ticket sales here. Well, they're going to do above 1,000. I have no concern about that.
But it's like a 3,000 seat arena, so 1,000 should be the floor of what you draw.
Premium seats sold out. Special ringside sold out. Ringside only a few left. Reserved seats in the arena only a few left. Second floor stand seat A, which are 6,000 yen, only a few left. The only fully available seats are the second floor stand seats at 4,000 yen. So this could be a decent number.
But again, that's kind of what they said as well for this. Actually, for this show, there were like a bunch more categories that were actually sold out. Yeah. And I do think they're comparably sized arenas. What's the max capacity of the Sun Plaza?
I don't know, but it can't be much more than 3,000, 3,500.
Yeah. So I would say maybe if they draw like around what they drew here, I think they can be happy with that.
They'll draw at least 1,500. I think that's fair. They'll do more than a Korakuen can hold, which is I think also
Yes, yeah, more than a modern Korakuen can hold. Yeah.
Okay, so match 1, Gaora TV Championship, Fuminori Abe versus Seigo Tachibana. I mean,
That's gonna rock. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, because we actually forgot to mention this at the beginning. So I'm actually going to the NOAH show in Oberhausen in October. And like literally the day after I booked like my hotel, my train tickets, all of the wrestling tickets and all of that, there is also a show on like Thursday afternoon, on Thursday evening. That is like the small show that runs on like the WXW like training facility basically. And the main event of that one is going to be Fuminori Abe versus Timothy Thatcher, which is like that's a match book for me, but I already had like everything else booked and I couldn't like cancel the train tickets, so I'm like, fuck. But I mean, I'm still gonna get an like Abe is still gonna be in a tournament, and maybe he's gonna do something on the NOAH show. Yeah. But actually, just for quick, while we're on that, you know what I'm really curious about? Because like Real has been officially put out to pasture, right? They're done now. And already booked for the tournament is the team of Timothy Thatcher and Hideki Suzuki.
Oh.
So, you think Suzuki is working that NOAH show? I mean, he's literally already there.
We shall see, won't we?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any political reasons why not.
I mean, they kept him on the roster page forever.
Yeah. He just decided to go to All Japan because they're going to do something with him.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think he did everything he could. He did everything they're going to let him do in NOAH, apart from they're not going to get a title raid or anything like that.
Exactly. So, but like, if he isn't, then I do think there is. I mean, not then there obviously is some heat. If he's literally already there and he's not working the show, then there's definitely something there.
Yeah, for sure. So, tag match: Shotaro Shino and Kuroshio Tokyo, Japan versus Mr. Saito, Naruki Dora, and Senor Saito. This is a 3-way versus Hikaru Sato and Masashi Takeda. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm always in favor of Takeda. Like,
absolutely,
dude rocks.
Alpida versus Hokuto Gun. We've got Ryoki Honda, Renayabe, and Rising Hayato versus Kuma Rafi, Hartley Jackson, and Jack Kennedy.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that Hokuto Gun is like taking a loss here.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, do you think? Yeah, I don't think Alpida's losing.
Because there's another Hokuto Gun match. I think they're definitely losing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they're not going to lose twice in one night. We'll see.
All Asia Tag Team title match. We got Musashi Seki Yoshioka versus Dan Tam and Ryo Inoue. I actually have high expectations for this match.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually also fine with either team winning.
Yeah.
I do love Musashi and Seki Yoshioka, but like I'm also happy if like Inoue actually gets the title around his waist.
Oh God, yes. That would be. It's probably the right move to put him on Dan and Inoue, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Musashi and Seki Yoshi are both guys in their mid to late 30s, like, and Yoshioka might only be a part-timer too.
Yeah.
So we will see, but I would not be shocked if they retain either.
Exactly. I mean, it's the All Asia tag titles. Like these are basically just coin flips.
Yeah. And then more All Japan versus Hokuto Gun. Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Hokuto Mori and Cyrus. Now,
never mind. Yeah, they're definitely 100% losing that.
They're losing. I mean, Hokuto Gun could still win that other match, but they're definitely losing this one. Yeah. Smith's probably pinning. I'd have Smith pin Cyrus, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be even weirder if Kento actually challenges for the title if he loses here. Although maybe, like, again, has this actually been officially announced that the match is happening? We just had kind of Kento cut a promo saying that he won. that he wants to challenge, right? Maybe a way you
Let's
actually
see
don't
what
do
the
that
All
if he
Japan-
loses here. And then he has something else to do where he like gets like squashed or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing about Kento announced yet. He wants to challenge in Fukuoka.
Which is his hometown, so fair enough. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And then main event, Yuma Anzai versus Yuma Aoi. Oh, sorry, no, World Tag Team title match. Jun Saito and Rei Saito versus Hideki Suzuki and Suwama.
Yeah.
It would not shock me if Suwama and Suzuki win.
Yeah, wouldn't either. I wouldn't put the titles on them because I just don't think they're a good team.
No,
like it's a team that is like way less than the sum of its parts.
I know. Well, because they're also doing their stupid shtick.
Yeah.
Where they get along, and that doesn't help. Yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked. Like, look, this could be the story of the fall. Like, Saito's lose, win the Real World Tag League, and then come and win the titles in January.
No, I could very easily see that happening, but I don't know. I would just keep it on the Saitos and have them like lose the titles to whoever wins the Real World Tag League.
If
basically.
you want my idea, you keep the tag titles on the Saitos, and you make them winning the Real World Tag League something that they're chasing like a year or two from now.
Yeah, because you know who I would have them face in like January for these titles, like who to me should win the Real World Tag League.
I have a choice that I want to see if it's the same as yours.
It's New Period.
Yep, exactly. I agree. Period should win the tag league and win the tag titles.
Yeah, that's also the perfect way to like spin Anzai back up after he loses the Triple Crown.
Yep, for sure, absolutely. Because he's losing the Triple Crown either.
He's losing it. Yeah, it's I love this title reign, but my God, if he defeats Yuma Aoyagi and then defeats Kento again, like Jesus Christ, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like it's just sort of like I don't know. Here's the problem. We're running into the problem of like this World Tag Team division is just so thin.
Yeah.
Even though the Saitos are obviously huge stars, it doesn't help them at all.
But that's why it helps like moving like Yuma Anzai into that division.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean that's traditionally been the All Japan way, where it's like guy who holds the heavyweight title, holds the Triple Crown, loses the Triple Crown, forms a tag team, goes after the tag titles. That's basically how they've always done it.
Yeah. And then in the main event, Yuma Aoyagi versus Yuma Anzai in the for the Triple Crown. Incredibly high expectations. I mean,
yeah. They're a little bit hampered because of this whole like, is Kento actually going to challenge for the title thing? Because it just, I don't know. But like, I think the match itself should be absolutely amazing. Like, I think the match has a chance to rival. Like, I think it tops out at potential match of the year candidate.
Paul, I asked Valky Bracha about All Japan's financials, and in the fiscal year ending March 31st of this year, they lost 9 million yen.
That's not great. That would explain why like they're running this many matches, because they want to sell more tickets.
22 million yen in debt. That's not that much, is it?
9 million. You take off 2 zeros. So that's about 90K.
Yeah, so 22 million yen is $149,284.30 American.
That's not too bad, yeah.
9 million yen is $61,070.85 American. This is not a company that is going to like.
No, yeah, that's not like existential threat levels of that. Yeah.
However, that is money that could easily be covered by a large corporation.
Exactly. Like very, very easily.
Yeah,
Like essentially, if you're like I don't know, like a Rakuten level company, you basically buy a debt-free company because the 61K is like literally, like it is literally not relevant to your financial statements. Like it's literally irrelevant. Don't even have to mention it.
Yeah, exactly. So what, Paul? What do you think of the chances of Aoyagi winning and then doing a 60-minute draw in Fukuoka?
No, if Kento challenges, he's winning the title.
You think
Let's-
so? You're convinced?
There is a 0% chance Kento goes through 4 Triple Crown matches in a year and wins none of them.
Okay, so if Kento wins by beating Anzai on September 1st, what is the December 31st? What is the main event of December 31st?
Him versus Davy Boy? I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah. Because again, I would hold off Kento beating Yuma until December. Like I would still have them do that, but I would just hold that off until December.
Yeah. 60-minute draw in Fukuoka if it's Anzai. Oh, but you're still convinced that he's winning no matter what, right?
I think if he's challenging at that show, like the only thing is that they actually haven't announced it yet, right? That's the only thing that's holding me off from this. Where it's like, okay, maybe
I feel like
they get out of it somehow.
I feel like you can't announce. You can't tease Kento challenging in his hometown and not deliver on it. It just seems like bad promotional practice.
Maybe, yeah. But again, if he's in that match, he has to win. That's the thing, he has to win. Because yes, he is Kento Miyahara, but there's literally only so many times he can beat someone in a title match before it actually does.
Yeah.
No, because again, he's lost 3 times. Like, like a draw is not enough.
Okay.
If that match is happening, Kento's winning.
It is Kento's hometown too.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see a draw even still.
Yeah.
That's
the other thing. You can't have this guy constantly losing Triple Crown matches over a year, then go to his hometown and then do a time limit draw. You're gonna get a riot.
Yeah. It's it is interesting. I mean, could you do Aoyagi versus Kento still on December 31st, I suppose?
But Aoyagi challenges?
Yeah.
I mean, you could. Not sure how excited I would be for that. But I mean, actually another thing, right, that this promotion currently is kind of missing a bit with like Nakajima gone is like a top heel, or like in general a heel. Like,
yeah,
who's like the biggest heel in the highest level heel in the promotion right now? Hokuto Mori. Is Hideki? I don't think Hideki is a heel. It's too goofy.
Yeah, Hokuto Mori.
Yeah, it's Hokuto Mori, which maybe maybe we'll see some sort of angle at some point where, like, I don't know who would turn, if it is Aoyagi or Kento, but I feel like they need some sort of top level heel because they don't have that at all. Yeah, I just hope it's not Suwama.
Yeah, it's like, okay, fine. So you got Davey Boy winning the Odo tournament, I think, or at least the final.
That's a title challenge right there.
But what else are you gonna do for your biggest show of the year? And then you got the back-to-back Korkins.
Yeah.
And look, if they want to keep up these be able to just run big shows, you got to fill them up. And I'm going to I hope they sort of dial back the Triple Crown matches after this. Mm-hmm. They did this last summer too, though. They had They had a bunch of Aoyagi defenses, remember? Like the Hokuto.
Yeah,
and
but
Yama.
that was like Aoyagi had just won the title and they were like running through defenses to like establish him. That was different though.
Mhm.
And they had about like remember they also like again he won the title off of an outsider in Nagata, and well technically Anzai did as well. But then you also had Kojima in there. Like there's act like he beat like who did he beat? He beat Suwama, he beat Kojima, he beat Honda and Nagata. So really like one was a young guy in his first Triple Crown challenge, so that's fine. One was Suwama who's like getting like shuffled down the card, so that's fine. There actually weren't that many like he beat Kento to be fair.
Okay,
But like otherwise they didn't actually give away that many big title challenges for Yuma in that run.
Yeah, Hokuto. Okay, so beats Nagata, beats Hokuto, beats Suwama, beats Kojima, beats Honda, beats Miyahara. He got 5 defenses in his first reign, which will be similar to what.
Anzai ends up with.
Yeah.
It is. It's just in this case, like Anzai basically beat like all of the other like top guys basically on the way there of the promotion.
So look, Fukuda needs to go start apologizing to whoever in these other companies he's pissed off because they need.
Yeah, we need some outsiders. We need outsiders in the promotion.
We need some like gotta be just T-Hawk and a couple of great guys would make such a difference.
Hire to Tamura after he loses to G-Rex.
Yeah. Just some of the great guys would make such a difference. But hell, I really dug the DDT stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if you could get like a Hiroshima, like hell, like if you want to throw like a Hiroshima defense against Anzai, that would have been cool.
Yeah. So, it's All Japan's come a long way in building their own roster, but it's still not enough.
No.
Just a couple.
Make up with Tajiri and bring in a bunch of Kyushu Pro guys.
Kodai Ozaki would not be bad, I suppose.
Yeah. Like it's been forever since we've seen Daisuke Sekimoto in All Japan.
Yeah.
And I know he's not at that level anymore, but like can't tell me that Big Japan wouldn't be like, yeah, sure, we'll loan him to you for a while.
Yeah, Big Japan will take that commission for his outside.
Absolutely, they will.
So I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, the Big Japan relationship was good too. Nomura. I mean, Abe's still there.
Yeah.
Maybe they try. Well, they might have tried to poach Nomura, so maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's why. But then, like, for example, I don't know, like in Erie is someone you could throw in. Like, where is he? Wait, there was someone I was just thinking of. Oh yeah, Zeus. Like, he wanted to work All Japan even despite being with Osaka Pro, and then he did a handful of matches and then nothing. Yeah. But that's a guy you could have like thrown like Anzai's way for him to beat.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. It's beyond September. It could just get rough, and if we're going to start going to the well again on some stuff we've already seen recently, then this little attendance boom isn't going to last long.
No, because I think the air rain has been really good, but like with the next two defenses, you might be like starting to drill a bit into the foundation, which I don't think that's a good idea.
Nope, I don't think so either. Look, I mean, what All Japan has managed to do with Anzai is very impressive, but they need to have a little more long-term vision.
Yeah, which, again, that's also my thing, where it's like, okay, so what's actually like the long-term storyline in the company, right?
I feel like it's going to go to sort of a quasi Okada versus Tanahashi thing, but with Kento and Anzai.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
I could see something like that. It's
going to have the same story beats, but I think that what you could have is, so Anzai's beaten him, but now Miyahara's going to reassert himself again, and I could see Anzai challenging and losing again, and then build it to Anzai finally beating Miyahara again, and then maybe they'll be like, well, can Anzai finally beat Miyahara for the Triple Crown in this city, or can Anzai win the Champion Carnival or something?
Can Anzai beat Miyahara while having one hand tied behind his back?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because it was like, okay, so Okada could beat Tanahashi, but can Okada beat Tanahashi in the Tokyo Dome? You know, that's what the story was.
Yeah. It was.
Beat him in this building, right? So yeah, I could see something like that. Even though I like I think that for the long-term health of the company, making Aoyagi that roadblock is a better choice.
Exactly.
And what's happening with Aoyagi?
What was like the biggest drawing story in the history of the company?
Misawa
It was
Kawada.
Yeah, it was Kawada trying to beat Misawa.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like Aoyagi should be like that guy that Anzai just can't beat, and then you build that up over like 2 years, and then he finally beats him.
And then, of course, what's going to happen to Aoyagi? Loses again, and I don't see any direction for him, especially with Kenta teaming with Davey Boy, seemingly.
I mean, there's really no good outcome for him here, right? Because either, like, if this Kento challenge actually happens, so either he loses to Anzai here, which is bad for him, or he's a transitionary, like, couple of like weeks champion to then immediately drop it on the V0 to Kento, which is also bad.
Yeah. I don't think that's impossible either. Because okay, think about it. You announce all these Triple Crown matches. Well, you want to spice it up, and what's more spicy than a couple quick title changes?
Yeah, which is also something they've historically done.
Because if you're like, okay, we're announcing like the next 3 Triple Crown dates, people go to those shows because there's a chance that there's a title change.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what they did, right? When they did the whole like Kento to Doring to Suwama thing, or was it Suwama to Doring to Kento? Whatever, like you know what I mean.
It was wasn't it? I thought it was Kento to do Suwama to Doring, and then Kento beat Doring, right?
Maybe it was definitely in very quick succession. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think yeah, right. I mean, we could get one of that. We haven't had one of those in a while. Oh,
I mean, okay, but then like Davey Boy is winning.
Oh God.
Because again, he has a 6-month contract, so maybe the December 1st match is like 31st match is like Anzai versus Davey Boy Smith Jr., but it's Davey Boy as the champion and Anzai as the challenger.
Okay, so listen to this, Paul. We had Kento Miyahara regain the Triple Crown from Shuji Ishikawa at the 45th anniversary show at Sumo Hall.
Which amazing match, by the way.
It was an amazing match. Probably their best match. He held it for 43 days and then lost it to Suwama at Korakuen Hall.
Who then lost it to Doring.
12 days later. And Doring
had I remember that, yeah.
Doring had it for 155 days in which he defended against Yoshitatsu, who had just come into the company, Zeus, and Kai. And then he lost it to Kento at that ill-fated Saitama Super Arena Community Arena show.
Oh, God.
Remember that one?
Yes. This is some prime mid to late 2010s All Japan stuff.
Also on that show, Drew Nakayama and Yuji Nagata defended the All Asia Tag Team titles against Wild Child, Manabu Nakanishi, and Takao Omori.
Oh, God.
Atsushi Aoki defending the title against the junior title against Shuji Kondo. Dylan James and Ryuji Sai defeat the Big Guns, Bodyguard and Zeus to the tag titles. Oh, Koji Iwamoto defeats Josh Bodum.
Oh my God! You can nail that one down to a very short period of time because you actually just need to mention that match because that was didn't Bodum get kicked off the tour after that match?
Yep.
Oh my god. What a wild time. I mean, it was basically when All Japan was like starting to recover. But still, like, oh my god, this is such a different promotion.
That was Josh Bodom's first match in All Japan. He got kicked off the floor by April 12th. So that was on March 25th. His last match was on April 12th.
But he wasn't the guy. He didn't get kicked off for the fridge, right? That was Bram that got kicked out for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what Bodom did. I just know he got kicked out.
I mean, it's Josh Bodom. Like, you know,
yeah,
it could be a lot of things.
He's incredibly dumb.
Yes. Again, never forget that the way his career was already over because he had burned every bridge that was in Brit Res. And then literally fucking speaking out happens. He reappears to like be like, look, I told all you guys. Yeah, I told all you guys these guys are bad. And then immediately, like under that, it's like, well, like had some allegations come his way, and then just fucking deletes the social media and hasn't been seen since then.
Yeah, no, he hasn't wrestled even on like some sleazy Polish indie or something.
Nope.
Where certain canceled people go.
Oh yeah, I mean, but even like Skrull doesn't get bookings there anymore. He's like, I think he's pretty much exclusively Mexico at this point.
Yeah. Anyway, so as we near the 3-hour mark, that's All Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got a big weekend ahead of us. And any final thoughts?
Yeah, a little bit worried about what All Japan future direction might be. I think they're still in a good place, but they might be getting to a bit of a cliff at the moment. We'll see the way this goes. Yeah. Noah doing great, maybe not attendance-wise, and maybe not with everybody getting injured, but otherwise looking nice.
Oh, yes, a lot of fun tournament. So we will be back probably sooner rather than later because we don't want to get like
go Flails again.
N1 show, a bunch of N1 shows and everything like that, right? So we've got to probably keep it a little more maintainable. But anyway, we will talk to you very soon. So enjoy all the wrestling out there. Take care.
Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I want to tell you all about my show, The Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we do a thorough analysis on the biggest issues and trends within the pro wrestling industry. We talk a lot about pro wrestling media, we talk a lot about fan culture and wrestling's place within general pop culture, and we talk about the broader influences that are shaping the way we discuss and analyze the pro wrestling industry. We've had some of the brightest minds in the pro wrestling intelligentsia on the show, including WrestleNomics host Brandon Thurston, both Rich Craich and Joe Lanza from the Flagship Wrestling Podcast, Trevor Dame from the Through the Years podcast, and a whole lot more. This isn't a show for hot takes. It's not a show recapping the latest episode of television. This is a show focusing on the biggest topics in pro wrestling and doing a deep dive on the real stories behind the surface level analysis you might find elsewhere. The Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, and we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a try. Thanks.